Hey, hey you guys, this is Weiss Schwarz, and today we're going to be doing a set review on Cinderella Girls, which is probably one of the more interesting and one of the better sets I think overall for Weiss Schwarz. So today I have with me Kevin, Jimmy, and Kex, and we've all played CG at one point. Some of us still do play CG, and like some of us have actually topped with CG for English at least. So for me, I just played the mono blue build when it first came out, but then like ever since then I sold it because I'm a scrub. But yeah, that's it for me.
I'll go. I actually started CG when the second set came out, and then I fell into the English too, or when it came out, because almost like it's been like a 2 month span. That came out in English and the second set came out in Japanese. I pretty much built everything, but I just have Crone right now, so yeah. yes, best girl. Yeah, that's it for me.
I got into CG in the first set for JP first, actually, and I started off with just like the Ronco build because it's just like Ronco or the Biku. And then I did buy into it in English as well, the first set when they announced it for English, and ended up getting top 4 at New York Springfest last year with the Ronco build as well. And then ended up buying into set 2 for JP, and mostly pretty much just played TP for like JP side of Cinderella Girls. After a while, for the English side, I did go to the Asterix build, which is just a lot more consistent.
And I guess I'll go. I'm Kex, and I've probably literally played every climax combo in the set, in both sets. I started with Mono Blue for like a week, and then I immediately jumped to Miku because Miku's honestly the most consistent like card in the set, along with the 1-0 Master Serena, because he doesn't like top checking your top 3 cards. And then I immediately jumped into CG2 when it came to JP, played TP, played pretty much everything in there, I think, except maybe yellow. I don't think I touched any of the yellow cards. And I still play English CG to today.
Yeah, I still have like TP even with the ban list now in JP, as well as my English Cinderella Girls as well.
Right, so we'll just get into the a brief history of like first set CG. For JP, actually came out in October 16, 2015.
Jeez, 2015, that's so long ago.
It's been a while. And for English, it came out in March 18, 2016. So like several months. Like it wasn't too far. Like the gap between like the first for English and JP for like the first set release is actually not that far off.
Well, yeah, it's definitely one of the sets that came out like sooner in English, right after JP.
So I think I remember that. Wasn't CG2 coming out like right when CG1 was coming out in English?
CG.
Yeah, it was like a month after.
Yeah, because I was like contemplating not even buying English just so I could buy CG2.
CG2 came out in CG2 came out in October. It came out in, I have it right here. April 22nd, 2016.
Yeah, it came out like almost a month after CG1 came out in English.
Yeah,
I remember.
But also for English, the exclusive, at least I guess quote unquote exclusive thing we got was the Meister set. Meister set comes with like 10 packs, right? Is it like 10 packs, a mat, and a storage box and a PR card. A lot of people got their PR cards it was kind of like in bad condition as well. Like I know that for
happening with almost all of the Meister sets I've noticed.
Yeah,
because a lot of people opened them up in Orlando when I went there, and people when they were opening them up, they were all banned. It was just because they would play something like in between the mat, and they would just get banned on the mat.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even like try to put them like anywhere smoothly.
But in general, like for CG, you get value because you get 6 double R's in every booster box. Obviously, since there's 3
that Meister set was broken. Well, some people only got like what 2 double R's out of that Meister set,
but you're guaranteed a foil.
Like people get 4 though, and I got 4 out of mine.
Yeah,
I got what's that one time I got the triple R Asterix climax and then like 3 double R's. It was a Minami, a Myriad, and then a Ren. I was like, oh,
Yeah, you
Fair.
pretty much plus off of her.
I think the one I got, I had two. I got the Rena double rare, the Nika for the Kalari, and then I got the triple rare Everyone's Leader.
Oh, nice.
I was like,
Ah, dude,
what the hell?
cards extinct.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess the way we're gonna work out with our set reviews is that we're gonna go over each color. So according to a little Akiba, the first color is actually yellow, and then we'll go over like the double R's for the color, and then like if there's any rares, uncommons, commons, or promos that we want to talk about, we'll just bring it up, and we'll talk about for each card in general. We'll just go over like how it's like been first or what we generally think about this card, and then like the builds that we've seen in for this card if there are in builds. So yep. So we'll get into yellow first. Oh yeah. Also, there's the trial deck card too. CG is one of the sets where it actually had 3 different type of trial decks for like the first set.
Some of the trial deck cards are actually.
Wasn't there
Yeah.
like there was an event and before the set dropped, like with the trial decks, where we entered with a trial deck?
Yeah, for English. Yeah, for English.
The red, the smile deck, or I think it's smile.
That would event was so.
That was the best one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. A lot of
that,
people
like,
agreed.
the
Red.
tournament thing.
Yeah.
That was the best one. The red one, because like, dude, you had doors, and
Oh,
like your level 1 wasn't bad.
And wasn't the level 3
That
like
was
sort of like a
blue,
finisher as well?
No, I think yellow had like the cancel burn finisher, but I think like the
Red
whiskey
is
had like
top
it
deck?
got something out of your waiting room, I believe.
It salvages, and then you have
Oh, yeah,
they also have
salvages.
the event, which is a 1-0 certain salvage or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was like
No, I think it's a 1/1 salvage thing, like the climbing up the tree event or whatever.
Yeah. Most people at our
But,
locals usually went for like the blue one though, just because like they want to pull the SP Ren. That one has the SP was like the most valuable in terms of like
it was
price.
funny because like I wanted it because I actually like my wife was ring, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick this box at the very back. It's gonna have the SP. Watches opens it. SP. I'm like, yep,
Yeah,
that works.
especially if you like wanted to get into like CG, like actually as a competitive set for English, because like they had the Hanako counter, which is only exclusive to the blue TD.
That was also true. That Hanako counter is amazing.
Cheaper.
What was it? No, but it was like really messed up because that event, they promised you an SP if you won it, and then every store realized, oh, we're not actually getting an SP from Bushiroad. We have to give out an SP that we have. That was like the most messed up thing about that event.
Oh yeah,
if
the way it
anybody
was
realized
advertised as like SP or whatever. Yeah.
it was advertised. If you win the event, you get an SP, but nobody actually like when they got all the packaging, they didn't come with an SP.
We just got more Ronco deck boxes.
I mean, that Ranko
Yeah.
deck boxes was actually pretty nice,
Yeah.
and then like some people are actually relisting it on like eBay or whatever for like for quite a bit of money.
I mean,
I think I came out of that with like 3 Ronco deck boxes. It was pretty lit.
Oh, I got like 4, I think 4 or 5.
I think that's also like when they stopped doing like the the smaller size Weiss Schwarz deck boxes. Like now, don't with the newer
Yeah.
ones, it's more like the regular standard like deck box size, like the more like cubicle looking ones. Like the Vein Dream,
The
like-
Ronco one can barely hold an actual deck with oversleeves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
man,
like
you gotta
that. I like that
assemble it
tight size
with
though.
the oversleeves in it, and then it perfectly fits them.
But anyways, we'll go on to yellow with the double R's. First card is the Mio Honda. It's an anti-runner where the character facing this card cannot be moved to another slot, and it also has the ability to be a stock bomber for 1K level 0 stock bomber.
I hated Mio a lot, but after playing this, I loved it. I love her character. I went to Atlanta last year. The last year's Spring Fest in Atlanta or whatever it was, and I ended up playing against a lot of SAO, so their Kiritos did nothing. So that ended up being like an extremely good choice for me. But after that, I never really played it. I took it out. It was like it just never came up anymore.
Yeah, and also like when we review these cards, like don't be afraid since like we can also talk about CG2 as well because like obviously a lot of these cards for CG1 is going to be in CG2 as well. So like for the JP build at least, yeah.
See now, this card was actually the reason why like I stuck to playing Ronco in English for like longer than I did, because obviously you want like red and blue for the Miku level 3, but I pretty much played this like for the meta call of like, oh, I'm gonna see Kantai and like AOT and SAO and like well they all have runners Mostly AOT and SAO runs them, but then like the Miu itself could stock reverse the Hibiki, so they can't get her into memory and stuff like that. And then, like, ironically, when I was at New York Spring Fest last year, did not play against a single like SAO or AOT or even contact in Swiss until I got to top 8. And when I got to top 8, I think I played AOT, and like it didn't even do anything because he just didn't have the Mikasa runners. Like he didn't open up with them.
I didn't have to play those decks all the time.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know and are watching this, like, I think out of all the colors for CG, yellow is probably the most mediocre like color compared to like red or blues. So that's why like when you watch this video, like you'll see like a lot of cards in yellow. Like this effect Mio, like it's like a good effect to have for like any set like with like to have this type of effect. But like the fact that it's a yellow card though is like for CG is like whatever.
Yeah, that's where it just kind of like.
I feel like what the typical meta color is for CG, yellow just kind of like isn't as preferred, obviously for keeping color.
Yeah. And also like if you do run this card, like especially if you splash this in your builds and like it's I guess a 2 or whatever, it's like a smaller number than like usually like a 4 of a card. It's usually like a 2 of or whatever, and it's like at this point it's like why do I even like want to put this into my deck or whatever?
All you're doing is really hurting your Akasti run.
Yeah.
And your Miku level 3 if you're playing Astrid. Since you're already playing.
Essentially, I just end up going with like, okay, I'm gonna take everything out that's yellow and just run 4 Miria.
Yeah, there are some exceptions of like the Miria, like we'll get on to next, is actually like one of the more mandatory cards for like most CG builds, like for English at least. And like for a while when it was before the JP ban list, like a lot of builds ran this Miria just because the fact that it's a Riki. So this 0/0 Miria is the Riki effect. So you pay 1 and you place the top card of your deck into clock, and then you search for a level 1 or lower on play, and then also has the ability where when it attacks you choose one of your characters, it gets 500 power. The 500 power isn't really that noticeable, but it's just a nice effect to have in general though. In those like rare cases where like that extra 500 power can matter between like backup sizes or whatever, like when you go up against a backup, like you feel like your opponent's got backup or whatever. And you can always just give it to itself as well, I guess, if you want it to be like the standard Riki 2K power. But
she's a good card. You definitely run 4 of it when you could in JP, and you'd still run 4 of it in English.
Yeah, it helps you get your Manami level 1s if you haven't grabbed it yet, or it helps you get your Ren Akatsuki's. Or your back row,
your brainstorm or when you're running.
It helps you grab literally any card out of your level 1 because every card on the level 1 is going to help you.
Especially for CG where you you want to be at level 1 first, especially if you run the Manami combo, so you can get your blessing, your farming off pretty easily.
Agreed.
But for like, I know you guys since you guys played Asterix for English, you guys was this like a 3 of or a 4 of in your builds, and like, or did it like really?
4.
Okay.
I played 4. I was like,
I started with 4.
Usually, like what I would do with it, I definitely get 1 into level for sure.
Yeah.
And usually, like if I can, I would actually hold on to them in my hand if I'm at level like 3 and I'm gonna refresh, just so they wouldn't go back into my refresh, and I know like my Mikus would be a little more consistent.
Yeah.
On going off with the burns.
Yep.
So that's kind of like how I play the card, like outside of level 0. Once like you've used her effect to get where you want to be.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
They're in stock. If I trigger them, sometimes I would like not even try to pay out like that stock and be like, yeah, I'll just like let that sit there for the rest of the game.
For JP builds, like where like your CG JP builds for your guys' decks, for at the time, like, did you guys like was this like a mandatory like 3 of or 4 of in your builds as well for like TP when it was allowed or whatever?
100%. Searching out the Karen was so good, or searching out the Now if you didn't have it at the time, so good. It was like a 3 of.
Yeah, I still played in TP like before the ban list came around. I actually like never saw JP lists like pre-ban lists of like not even the first one like when the first set first came out. In JP for CG2, like I never seen any builds at that time, so I don't know if they ran it at 4 as well, but I definitely ran at 4 just because it got your back row that you really wanted to go off with.
And currently, if you want to like play, if you somehow like want to play yellow for CG, then like out of the pick 4, this is usually the card that you want to pick if you're playing yellow.
You're a madman, though.
Yeah, it's either that or Kume for a yellow if you're gonna play yellow.
Yeah, I don't know what yellow picks for their like choice of because Kome does work well.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you would.
It just get like your climaxes, for your level 1.
Yeah.
Or your level 3.
It's how much you value, whatever.
Like, most of the yellow cards in CG2, I don't know if they need a full field of yellow to activate their effects, or if it's just like
they do.
Oh yeah, the
they
early drops.
formally-
Yeah, there's an early drop where you need to have a full field.
The
of
early
yellow.
drops.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what I can think about this card though. But overall, it's one of the effects I think that was needed for CG in general.
Yeah, definitely.
Next, we're going to the Rika runner, right? Whenever it treats his girl trait, we're like on the little Akiba Gyaru trait.
I love it. I love that.
So it's
Frank, what do you have?
it's a 2500 mill runner, and if you don't know what a mill runner is, you just mill the top card of your deck, and if it's for this case, if it's a music trait, you get to run anywhere in the open slot of your front row.
I tested it again. I ended up taking it out just because it was yellow,
Yeah.
but it was a very good card. It's still a very good card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a good card. It's just that the color for the set that it's in.
Yeah.
I just don't think
It suffers
there's
that
anything
yellow
just-
syndrome.
What did you expect?
Surprisingly, it's one of the cheaper SPs as well too, for like especially for a runner. Like usually runners
So
are a
even
little
in
more
English,
expensive.
it's like
Yeah.
really cheap too, surprisingly.
Yeah.
For like her SP. I should have bought it.
Next we're going
Nobody's cheaper than Kirari.
to the 3/2 Sasquatch basically.
God damn.
One of her traits is happy trait. If you guys don't know.
I don't.
She's pretty much like a Yamato clone, which is during your turn she's pretty much a 11,500 base power. Then on play you can pay 2 and she gets cancel burn. She can give someone. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, she gives someone else.
Yeah, she gives
cancel burn,
she gives
but
someone else.
she has cancel burn herself.
Yeah.
Until she comes into play.
I mean,
it's
never played it myself.
Yeah.
At least in any meta deck. When I played Mountain Yellow, I had a little fun with it. But it was alright.
yeah. I just don't think like you have the room for like the more like especially for English for like mono blue or like red blue. Like you don't want to play this card. I mean, some
I think it was JP. I think it was JP that did it. I know JP actually did tech a lot of these in as a one of,
Yeah.
because he ran 4 Myria.
Yeah.
It was just a random one of just to have an extra cancel burn.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was just a little bit. You kind of branched out too far to play just that one of, because if you did try to play the one of, I felt like you were kind of just straying too far.
Yeah,
from your
to get the most
combo.
value. Yeah, to get the most value of this effect, you have to pay 4 stock in general because you for the
And
extra cancel burn. Yeah.
You can't really afford that too
Yeah.
much. I mean, like if you have a really good game, I guess you could. But like other than that, you really can't. It's too much.
Yeah.
Because you're also paying on attack for Miku.
I honestly
Yeah, I
don't
actually
know.
played this as a one-off
Yeah.
in my Dallas run. This past spring. However, my mindset was like I ran a lot of variety level 3s
Mhm.
just because I could,
Mhm.
and like if you saw my video, I really wanted to field 2 Mikus, and then whatever when this came up, then I would just play it just because, and and when I did play it, it worked out really good. It's just I didn't really need it at all times.
Mhm.
So, yeah. I mean, it's a good one though.
I mean, I think it's one of those cards that's like if it's just there and you happen to have the opportunity to do it, it's all right. Kind of like Kite or kind of like right now where English CG stands. It's kind of like you probably play 1 or 2 on a stage. That's just another one of those cards. Like if you have the opportunity to go for it and you can successfully pull it off, go for it. I guess.
Yeah.
It's like one of those cards that makes like this may be overkill just to try and confirm game or whatever.
Yeah. And I guess thinking from like other builds for other level 3 lineups, I would consider like the Hanako, like if you run the dog counter or whatever, that also takes up spots for your level 3s cards as well. So it's like, it's just it depends on your preference, whatever. But it's not a bad effect though if you do splash it. Like I'm not gonna hate you if you do splash it.
Yeah, no, the card itself is definitely like fine for what it is.
Next,
She's ugly though.
Yeah, she's a good character, man.
She's a
Yeah.
good character. She's ugly.
She's only like what 6? She's like 6 foot, whatever. That's considered like a giant size.
She's like 6 too many feet tall.
She's
For
too many
JD.
years old.
Next, we're on to this cum dumpster, pretty much.
Oh god, dude, what I would do to get crushed by her thighs. No lie, like I do when I pulled the SP, I just immediately looked at her thighs like, damn.
This 3-2
That's
Mika.
exactly what Mika is.
Oh god, I don't even want to rate this.
This card's actually fun. This card's actually fun.
She
And it's
heals.
decent.
She heals.
Decent.
She gets 2k for each marker, and then like you place one climax. What's the climax? Is it a shot trigger, right?
It's a shot.
Yeah, it's a shot.
Oh, okay. You at the beginning of your climax.
Wait, yeah.
Oh, you place from
You
hand.
discard it.
Yeah, you
Discard
discard
it.
it.
Discard the climax and then put 3 level zeros or lower, and show them to your opponent, obviously, and then place them on there as a marker. So she becomes 60k.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of compression too, because you're taking out damage from your deck, like the level zeros that are left over in your deck.
That's why it's kind of decent. That's about it.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
obviously
heal-
you're probably
heal-
gonna get off one of
heal,
them.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, still
Yeah.
not too bad if you're
Yeah.
just healing.
I mean, it's
Mine,
good if
you
you're
know.
like if you have the combo. I mean, and you're like you have a full deck and it's kind of compressed. You can just make it even more compressed if you have like 1 or 2 of these in the field.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think for the
you
most
play
part
this
though.
in tandem with the Rika level 3 that you can play off with the counter 2-1 from the Myria that you can early play off. And this works in tandem.
Yeah.
I feel like for the most part though, like, you use this effect like, I think you at most you get 1 off. Like I don't think 2 is gonna be more common than 1. Like because you do have to discard the climax from hand, right? So
Yeah, you do. I guess the problem with her combo is that you're not actually playing the climax, so you're not getting that extra soul to push for
It's
more
just-
damage.
I guess it's fine. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I guess if you're about to like refresh, it's also like, I mean, if you have like say 4 cards left in the deck and they're all zeros, and you don't have one of these, you could discard the climax and just refresh with it. But
That's not a bad play.
you're not getting extra soul damage, which could help you get game. I don't know. It's one of those
Yeah.
cards.
Oh yeah, this is also one of the cheaper SPs. But like out of all the yellow SPs for the first set, Miria is the most expensive one, I think. Yeah, she is the most expensive. For
Yeah, I
English.
gave mine away because some kid was building mono yellow.
I still have my Myria that I pulled from my case in English.
Anyways, well, that's it for the double rares for yellow. We're going to the rares, uncommons, commons, or promos. I want to bring up the first card I do want to bring up is the rare Yuki, the pretty much a climax swapper, and then you also potentially give one of your other characters power. Choose one. Well, you can technically give it to yourself too, but you pay 1 and you place one
So-
climax. You place 1, you pay 1 and you discard a climax and you swap 1 from your waiting room to hand.
So I actually did play this as a tech at New York last year, and this card put in like so much work. You have no idea. Like, oh man, I just get my me combo back, and then like they would try to like wall up against like one me because obviously if you stop the first one, then you know you can't really snowball as hard with the other 2. But I just like rested 2 other characters or her and like something else, gave my me 2k after getting the climax back, and just proceeded to go with the combo.
Yeah,
So yeah, this card's really good.
Yeah, if you're running this card, I feel like you're running it for the if you didn't get the Manami climax yet, because obviously if you run Asterix, then like Miku salvages their own climax, so that's not an issue. So it's definitely one of the cards to consider if you do tech this card. Like I actually like this too for when I was playing Mono Blue.
When it's mono blue, I feel like this card is still good enough to be in the deck.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're running like the red blue Asters, I just feel like it's not enough. Like not
Yeah,
good
because
enough.
it's another yellow card.
Yeah.
I mean,
If
obviously
you have this effect on a blue card, it's the Picun, but it doesn't have the secondary effect of giving power.
Oh yeah,
It's
the
just a
power is
climax
nice as
swap.
well. Yeah.
which is it's alright, but like I said, in that deck, I mean, it's nice to get the mini comic combo, but Miku's already so good just because she grabs the climaxes anyway.
Yeah.
So you really don't have to worry too much about that. Like obviously with Aranko or Minami Mono Blue, you kind of need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get the
other
book.
than just
Yeah.
triggering.
And the Manami
Yeah.
climax is also pants, so there would probably a good chance that you might, or a decent chance that you might trigger pants and like grab like a Manami climax that you canceled with or whatever. So
Yeah. Other level zeros.
oh yeah, for other cards for
Well, the other
yellow.
one, what was the other one called? The Sorry.
See,
Oh, the one that I ran was the one right next to it. What's this?
Oh, the brainstormer, right?
Irie.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
spammable.
yes. I actually
Irie
ran this one to tech when I played it, just because of the to the soul.
Mhm.
And then I mean,
Also, it's a spammable.
yeah, it's also spammable. So
Spammable
there's
search,
times where
yeah,
like CG does feel like it just can't pay out that much stock.
Yeah.
So I was like, I played it. It was fun. I took it out after a while.
And this was also like Yuki and this card was also like the case toppers for yellow. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. CG is one of those sets where if you buy a case and you get 2 case topper SPs for like whatever color that it's a random color. I think for both CG1 and CG2 like yellow, not yellow. I mean blue was the best case topper colors. I feel like because you got Kume like for
Yeah,
CG2, Kume,
Kaid.
yeah, and Kaid, yeah, or
Yeah,
like
Suzuki
or
and,
from
the Kaide,
Fumika,
yeah.
yeah.
Red wasn't bad though because he still got the costless 2K
Yeah,
side
that
backup.
one's that one was nice as well.
Pretty much yellow was like the worst one to get. If you
Yeah, it stayed consistent
for
to the
first
booster set theme.
Yeah. There's one missing. What is it?
Yeah, no, this card I played with like spammable search, drop brainstorms, and they definitely have their uses of just like getting you out of bad climax floods or just paying out stock in general. And then since CD or at least CD1 or actually even CD2 is still relying on like power on reversing in blue, so you could just like splash just to get the extra 1K or well probably like 2K if you have a 1 out for your level 1.
There weren't any like promos, right, that were running for yellow.
Wait, PRs for yellow?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything noticeable. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so either.
There's
It's
Kiri.
just Alonso. I mean, like Kuriari.
There's like one of those ones that had probably a good 100 plus of them in my binder, like not in binder, but in a box somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Yeah, that's it for yellow.
Yellow
Most
wasn't
part,
that
yeah.
much.
When the first set came out, there wasn't a level 1 comics combo, or like there wasn't any any good combos that were actually made it playable. So all you got is like a good okay end game.
Well, you kind of just built the sisters build, which was just a wall.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
But you guys forgot the most important yellow card, Nana Abe.
Right. I guess you guys can talk about it real quick. I'm gonna use the restroom. But Enrique, since I know you run that effect.
I still run it to this day. I still run this to this day, and God, is it the best card ever? No, I'm kidding. It's a really good card. It's funny.
It's a fun card to use, that's for
It is a
sure.
fun card. I guess the neg is that it gets -1 level on stage about. That's
On your turn. Only on your turn.
Yeah.
I know there's like some weird ruling where if you like side into like a minus level, you actually gain soul, I think, right?
I think that's
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what the ruling is. And like at first I thought that's what this was, and then I read it again. I'm like, oh wait, it's only on my turn, so it's completely irrelevant. Yeah.
So, honestly, it may seem like a big joke to run this card, but I've had multiple times where I've had this in a Conoco only opening hand, and my opponent just running like let's say Tulabru, and they have the 3500 May that can't side attack. So I would just flop those two down and have a 35-17 and just run over for 17. Yeah. It was hilarious. It's funny, and I mean, there's so many times where I actually did just suicide this into a random character, and I just trigger a climax, and I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. But then I realized, oh, Nana just replaces itself with the top card of stock, so this is actually kind of just like the titties.
Yeah, you'd be surprised that 17 actually like can kind of make a difference.
Yeah, I've run over things before at level 0 just because I had the extra 17.
It's funny. It's just hilarious. Yeah. I've gone over 4K beat sticks when I had double Chronicles in the back row. Oh god, this card just is hilarious. But it can actually put in work.
Yeah, and it's another red card to consider as well if you like run asterisk for like your level 0 lineup.
Yeah, if you want like a red beater and you like Nana a lot, which I don't know why anyone wouldn't like Nana. So yeah, you can run this and I wouldn't question it.
It's fun. It's just gets the job done.
Yeah. Well, I guess
that's a good
segue to actual other red cards. We're going to this conical brainstormer. Basically, it's a double.
Wait a second. You've split the most important card of the entire set.
Oh god,
my friend.
Oh, the green card.
The one of green Chihiro.
She looks like
your other God, I don't even know the trait. It's probably
Music trait.
music.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
music.
It should be. Character is placed on your stage from hand. During that turn, this card gets that card gains 500 power and gains whatever the other trait is.
The drink trait. It looks like.
But you can
Yeah.
pay 2 and rest itself to draw a card. I don't know about you, but that sounds meta.
That's a straight plus.
I don't know why they did this, and I'm glad they did. It's just like one of those flavor cards. I liked it. It was fun.
Does she
Never
even
actually
have
played
like
myself.
any scenes in the anime?
I feel like if I go to the next Screen Fest and I end up playing CG, I'll just tag one of this just for the draw and just see what my opponent's reaction is. Just look at it, just looking at it.
Oh.
Or
You should
it's like I
level up with a 2, with a 1
part is
green card.
Yeah.
That's
When
what
you
it-
use Miku,
That's
like,
part
bro.
is not it's either when I Akatsuki or a Conical Brainstorm, and it just comes in there, and you're like, what? Just look at it like, wait a second. I don't know. That's flavor.
Yeah.
Good old Bushy. All right, moving on to that.
Sometimes
Yeah.
too much.
Anyways, moving on to red. The Conical Brainstormer, double R, should pretty much the center card in your front row gets 500 power, and it's a tap itself, pay 1 plus salvage Brainstormer. It's a Fuego. I think it's the Brainstormer that you should be running for.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, in set 1, definitely the best Brainstormer for the first set.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could.
It's mostly just because it rests itself.
Yeah, you could run Rena, but then like obviously like 2 Conicos is obviously better than run Rena. So
Yeah, I've had a lot of games where I just literally have 2 Conical Brainstorms in the bag. It's like anytime you get into a bad situation, just mill through your deck.
yeah, especially for like the builds, like for like whoever has like mostly blue or whatever. Like obviously this is your way to like salvage out your cards that like you couldn't grab or whatever. Like with like your Renakotskis or whatever. Like this is just another outlet for you to grab those cards back. Or like
It
the
was
Monami
good.
combo, yeah.
Obviously, it ain't no Inori, but like, I guess it works. And that's the only thing I felt like I did.
Well, let's be
If it was
fair,
500
Inori is actually a Honks clone, alright? So it ain't no honkers.
calm down. I feel like it could have just maybe been 500 at the front at least. I've had times where like, I kind of wish I had power on the side, but
Yeah.
I guess you kind of you take your wins and your losses. I mean, a free plus and brainstorm is always good.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah, this is a 4-of, and it's really good.
I
Yeah.
just run this as a 4 almost all the time.
Yeah, I run it as a 4-of.
Currently, right now, I'm running 3 Myriad, and I'm still running 4 Conicos, and I only run 3
Yeah.
Myriad because I don't like collecting myself. I hate the fact of just damaging myself for a plus, but I guess that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
We all knew this.
I mean, I didn't say anything.
No, that was me.
Maybe one.
Speaking of bad,
We're getting to Andy's best this
This is
Uzuki.
usually Jimmy's favorite girl. What are you talking about?
Or Star Hermit's best
Uzuki's a
girl.
good girl. I mean, you can't get worse than Kidarin, but I guess like this is alright. She's in the middle. Like you don't pay attention to her. She's like whatever.
So she's a 3,500 beat. She's a 3,500 beater on
Kidarin
play.
is just.
She mills 2, and then
She has good character.
I actually run 2 of this to this day. I still run 2 of this just because of the fact that some of the beater.
mhm.
I
she's
think 2 of this is like the most you'd want to run if you do run it.
yeah. She
Yeah,
runs,
yeah.
she runs to combat, and then the mill 2. Like even if you do hit a climax, it's whatever. Like the mill 2 is sometimes nice also. Like when you're low on climaxes. So I feel like it's one of the I like personally if I ran Asterix, like I would put this just because I like milling effects. But running into your
I
opponent
always
actually
like
pretty
milling
annoying as well. Like for your opponent at
It's
least.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a B-stick runner. So I mean, even if you do run in front of your opponent, like they kind of you might be able to like even stop,
Mm.
you would kill something, or forcibly make them decide. The mill 2 is always nice. I like it even more now because of Re-Zero with Beatrice. But I've always liked milling, especially like being able to like mill 2 the last 2 cards out of your deck or something. Or
Yeah.
I've had multiple times where I've had a climax on my last 2 cards out of my deck, and I've just done it. And
Yeah, you don't
Even
care
though
about
it
like
takes
milling
habits,
those climaxes. Like as long as you get into refresh, that's what matters.
yeah,
I think it's pretty good because like if you're playing against a set that reverse like farms on reverse and your opponent doesn't pull Tri-Field the same card, you can just run to a card that's not like a booster or like a whatever. So like you have your opponent like level up first, and then you just have this one board, and then it's pretty good right there.
I'm pretty sure like for JP build, like people still run this in like the Uzuki, like the mostly mono red Uzuki like CG2 set build, right?
You mean the Bluesy build where it's like
Yeah,
red
Bluesy,
blue?
yeah,
They
or like
because like
yeah.
I think
Miku
so.
pretty much got replaced with the 3-2 Uzuki from the second set.
Yeah.
For like the red blue
Yeah.
build.
It's like a card.
Yeah, the card's fine. About the girl, not so much.
It also helps you out in trying to get early play the next card. So yeah.
Next we're going to, that's a good segue, to the 3-2 Anzu. She's pretty much an early drop, and the condition to early drop is you need to have 5 or less cards. 5 or less cards from your deck, and she gets -1 level in hand. And then like for each of your other music characters, she gets 500 power. So she's pretty much gonna always be 11k base, and then she heals on play. The early play condition is not one of my favorites, but like at least for CG, it's reasonable because you have a lot of cards to mill through your deck. So it's not, honestly, it's not that bad.
Yeah, especially with only set 1 too.
Yeah.
I think this is like one of the only. Actually, is this like the only early play the set has to offer, where you don't have to change?
Yeah, in context it works because like for other
yes.
sets, like obviously the like other sets that can't mill as much as CG, then yeah, I would understand why this effect wouldn't be as good. But obviously, like I said, for context, it works for CG.
It's fine. I like it. I've always liked it. Always been like a 3 or 4 of them in my decks.
Yeah, like at worst, she's just like late game heal, which is
anything.
Fine.
Yeah,
You don't
she's
get
just
her
a
out
healer.
at level 2.
Yeah.
11k at that too, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's Anzu, so second best do.
Next, we're going to the probably like the premier card for like Asterix is the 3-2 Miku. Our second trade is Nico character. Makes sense. So on play from hand, you salvage your climax, your over climax, and she also gets 1k power. She gets 1k power too. I completely ignore that.
Even if you don't add the climax, she can still get the 1k power since it's up to 1 over.
And then the
so
over.
So you just like do the effect to the fullest extent.
Yeah, and then the over
You guys not realize that she's actually a beat stick at level 3. Like she's a 13-5 at least most of the time. If you have like one Kaneko or like a 14, she's actually really really good. Like people will say like, oh no, Ronko's obviously better. Like this card just puts in so much work at the end game. I've had being like a week ago we played and I tripled Miku you and it was just like, oh, you went from straight 3 to like dead.
Yeah. her climax combo is you pay 1 when it attacks. You may pay cost. If the climax is in slot, then you mill 2 cards, and then if it's a red card, you deal 1 damage to your opponent. If it's a blue card, then wait. Also with the red card, you get 2k power. Yeah, I forgot. And then the blue is the minus 1.
No, with the blue card, she gets power.
Oh, the blue card gets power. Okay. All right.
It's cross turn as well. The power.
So like if you don't know, like you might be wondering like, okay, then like how am I gonna like at least know what I'm gonna be doing with this type of effect? Well, there's actually a 1-0 arena assist that you usually have in your back row when you play this. So at least you'll know you can like kind of set up your first Miku. Like obviously your other 2 Mikus that you triple field, they're not gonna get the benefit of the arena, but obviously guaranteeing or trying to guarantee the first Miku is I feel like is one of the more important things. And it's free too. Like the arena, there's no cost for the being able to like change out your cards a bit, like your top 3 cards.
No, it's just when you play the over.
Yeah.
The -1 soul, it's good and bad too for her.
Yeah.
It's good when you're like at low level 3, like 3-0, 3-1 ish, 3-2 maybe.
But like if you're at 3-6,
further than that, I feel like it's not gonna help you as much. It might actually hurt you.
Yeah.
Just because it might allow your opponent to swing for exactly what they need.
There is also a change to this card. Not everyone runs that change, but like it is a consideration, I guess, if you want to get this out at level 2.
I did tech it at a point when I was running 2 of it, and that's because I was talking to what's his name, Andrew, the guy that got second at Worlds last year. He just ran it as an early drop option. I never actually had the chance to play it. I played it at the official platform I went to this year, and it just never got. I never stopped playing. It just went into my clock. I never taken it out. I can agree why he would want to play it, but like, I mean, if you
Yeah,
like
the change itself isn't bad. Like you do compress since you're sending
Yeah,
cards to memory.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You just pay
Like,
one
I
and
get-
send it to memory.
it's just I feel like it's not. I feel like you're paying too much stock at that point for an early drop. That's I mean, that's not good. Even you can just drop early drop ontos. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like taking more deck space up for an early drop, essentially, with the change.
I'll probably give it a second shot sooner or later, but for now, I'm just gonna stick without it.
I think for English, at least, like this is one of the better like level 3s. I think in like all the meta decks. One of the not V, but like one of them. Just the fact that she's able to salvage her own climax.
I definitely rank this among the top 5 finishers in English as of right now.
Yeah, and the fact that also
Yeah,
that like
definitely.
her climax is a stock soul, which is always nice to have as well in general. So the first
The
Miku is
stock
always
soul,
going to
right?
be free. Yeah, essentially.
Those extra stocks throughout the game, honestly, put in so much work.
But that's pretty much all I have to say about Miku. For JP, I guess for Asterix, it's still nice to have. But I guess like from my logic, from my understanding with like JP, I'd rather play a different deck though. But like it's
I feel like
it's not bad though if you do play Asterix and JP.
Answer is still good. It's just I feel like it got kind of outpaced.
Yeah,
With
there's
the-
just like
definitely.
others.
Yeah,
There's other
definitely,
decks that you'd
Yeah,
rather be playing
once
in.
the second set came out.
Yeah,
I think it didn't have enough going for it compared to TP,
yeah.
the Uzuki build, and even the yellow build.
Mhm.
It was just like people were like hyping it so much,
Yeah.
but then it didn't really go that far.
I guess we'll go into the next double R, the 3/2 Chia.
Yeah.
If you have 3 or more other red characters, she gets 1k power. She'll pretty much, well, not pretty much, but there's a good chance she'll be 11k. And when you place from stage from hand, you reveal the top card. If it's a music character, you deal 1 damage to your opponent, and then damage obviously can be canceled. And when her climax is placed, happy times 2 days, happy days, is placed in
That's
your
just
climax
a lot.
slot. Yeah. You choose up to 2 of your red characters, and then they get 4k power, and it can't be reversed from opponent's auto abilities. So like bombs, I guess that's somehow relevant at level 3.
On a level 3, yeah. Well, you don't have to give it to a level 3, but I mean, I imagine you're like try shot level 3.
There's
That
like
red
no
persona
early drop.
deck is savage.
I mean, there's no way to early drop her, right? So there's like no change or whatever.
No, there's just pretty much.
No.
It's pretty much like maybe an 11k top check burn.
I actually tech it right now, and I ran it over like what people were doing was some people tech this, and there's some people are teching Kidarin instead.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather run this just because it's red, obviously.
Yeah.
And the on top burn, I mean, you can get like at least 3 to 4 burns per turn if you have triple Miku still available. It's pretty funny. I don't know.
Yeah, if I do tech this, I feel like I would only take it for the on play burn, which is always kind of nice, especially if you feel like your opponent's gonna cancel or whatever. Or I mean, like you like your opponent has a lot of climaxes left in your deck, and like you just want to potentially get out 1 climax maybe, and even if like they don't cancel it, that's still 1 damage, 1 free, essentially 1 damage, whatever.
I feel like that's where most of the value on these top check burns are, is if you can actually like get them to hit a climax on the burn, just so like it gets it out of the way, like you said.
Yeah, and even if
For,
like
like,
you don't,
your Attacks.
even if you don't hit a burn, whatever with the spec, at least you'll know like, okay, I can just like brainstorm out my climax or whatever. You're gonna instead of like triggering it, like if you don't want to like trigger it into your stock or whatever late in this game.
Or you could use it to side potentially.
Yeah,
Play around.
Yeah, that's another option as well. But usually I don't see this in like the more meta decks, at least for English. But I won't like hate you though if you like tech one of this. Like it's understandable. I can understand why people would tech one of this or whatever.
Feeling hates me. I play like I take it.
So that's all the double R's for red. So we'll just open the floor to rares, uncommons, commons, and promos. There's a lot of actually good backups in red.
Yeah, there's a lot of good rares and uncommons.
Yeah.
There. I guess the first one is the Psy one.
Yeah.
Traditional.
Honestly, it does basic 2K backup.
2K back.
Nothing else really more to it.
Surprisingly, yeah, she's like seen in like pretty much every build in CG, I think.
It's just a free 2K backup. What
Yeah.
can I say? It goes in any
Yeah.
color.
Yeah, you don't care about it being red. It's just like.
I mean, it just happened
nice.
to work because it's red in this deck. What else is there? Like,
That's pretty much it. The card's like
Yeah.
There's the
plain, but it's good.
the Mayu counter, the 2/1, the red counter, the
Oh,
yeah the
God,
anti change,
yeah.
or yeah, potentially you can like use it for like on reverse effects like restanders. It's always nice.
Yeah, definitely one of
Or yeah,
like
or clock shooters, yeah. My
You have the
little
1-0
yandere.
Miku with a +2 slow combo. Very good. There's not that much. The 1-0 bomb Kanaka.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
also a good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
so
my card to bring
used.
There's a 2 of in every deck, I think, in at least blue red.
or even in TP, man. Like I said, like giving your on reverse to a level 1 reverse, you're just not worrying about being in backup range and just like pretty much guaranteeing the free searches. It's always nice to have.
And I feel like for English as well, like people like generally when they think of CG for English they expect Manami, but like this card can also obviously be played in Asterix, and like if your opponent's gonna wall up against you like for CG, you can just like also play this. Like suddenly their level 1 walled up card doesn't matter. Like this is like I always get pissed off when like my opponent plays this and like I have my my Taige, my 75.
Well, I've had times where I've had to like forcibly mini combo the second turn, or the second level turn of level 1, because I would drop 2 of these, get rid of their walls, and the next turn they forcibly just either try to get them back, or they would just play zeros and then swing them to my empty board. And the next turn I would just get the entire mini combo off because they have open zeros on their board.
There's also this super spicy Anzu Global 500. Rest yourself, choose one of your characters, gets +1 level 1k power, and then she can't stand during your next stand phase.
Flavor.
I mean,
it's actually it's pretty good in conjunction with the Anya Global 5, since the rest one is an act. Yeah. So you essentially give +1500 power to something, and a +1 level 2.
I think that's actually not bad. I mean, obviously you died at Kaiki, but other than that, it's like...
Yeah, well also like your back row is probably going to be filled with like the conical brainstormers. Usually.
Yeah, well, it doesn't conflict with it either. Just since you can have one Conoco still and this, and still be able to brainstorm.
Yeah.
Since she Conoco rests herself.
Hmm.
Yeah, like, I was like decent. Like you played it, like I can understand why you're playing it.
Yeah.
Like either just want like the extra 1k buff.
Yeah. I guess that's all I can think about for red.
Oh, you forgot about my favorite card, the 003 500 second side attack.
Yeah, Larina Fujimoto.
Hey man, sometimes people just looking at this card, they can't kill it. I was like, it's almost a runner at that point. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, if it stays on the field, it pretty much has the effect of like a kind of a runner.
Actually, there's one last card I did run in this, and that I tested in my build personally, and it was the 00 Miho, and it was pretty funny because like not the 00 where you choose one of your stand characters and rest them, and then when this card is placed from stage to hand, you can top stock the of your deck into stock, so an extra stock. It wasn't bad. I liked it. I don't run it anymore, but I might actually go back to trying at least like 1 or 2 of it, because it was pretty helpful. There was times where like, I mean, you can honestly just tap one of your other random characters, and then you can honestly brainstorm in the first turn if you happen to be doing that. It's pretty funny.
Well, there's also another system. I know I played it, but I mean it doesn't seem bad. The one that gives 500 in front and hand on court, I believe. And then when you level up, you choose something and it gets 1k power. But mostly like the hand on court aspect doesn't seem bad.
This card, I feel like the Miho was really good opening it, just because the first turn you only have like 1 attack, so you could play multiple characters up front and just tap one of them and still have another character to attack with. It lets you get your Mary off first turn. just random cards like that. It wasn't bad.
I can't think of any other red cards.
Yeah, I think
that's
red.
That's Miku's probably the last actual decent card.
Oh wait, isn't there? Right. Oh yeah, I was gonna say technically, like from the trial deck, like the red, it came with like a reverser, right? A level 0 bomb. The
Yeah.
Miku, like
Yeah,
Miku
level
tech
0
splash.
first year.
Oh, the
Miku.
Yeah.
Miku getting so many good cards.
Yeah.
There's also that Uzuki where if like you reverse something, you put it to rest and then move it to the backstage.
Oh yeah,
That card actually put in so much work during the like 3 trial deck tournament thing.
Yes.
That was another reason why red was like I thought it was like probably the best deck to pick out of the 3 for that like little event.
Oh yeah, it's definitely that Japanese effect I was talking about. Like it's really good, and it doesn't have like a requirement too, because like usually like for sitting Yami, you have to reveal the level 3 Yami to get this type of effect off. But this is pretty much free. You just have to reverse like any other of these type of effects. So yeah.
I'm trying to think what else was in the trial deck that was decent for red. I think that was it. Just those 2 cards.
Yeah.
Those 2 cards are pretty much why you would even buy red. To be honest, the red trial deck.
Yeah.
Just like for the Miku level 0 reverser, and then the Uzuki if you wanted to play that.
The event's also pretty good.
Yeah, the event's fine too. Yeah.
I guess we'll get on to probably like the hype color of the set.
Yeah.
Blue.
We go into green.
Nation Blue. Hashtag Nation Blue. We're going to this Rina Tada Brainstormer. During your opponent's turn, your other character in the front row center slot gets 1k power, and then pay 1, rest 2 of your characters. For each climax, you search plus Brainstorm.
This is like your only option if you're running mono blue. I guess it's average.
It's mostly the rest too that kind of like kills this card for me.
Yeah.
Well, not kill it, but like when you have a Conoco Brainstorm that only rests herself versus this, and like that's kind of like where the pros and cons are for the card, both cards for me, or for this card.
Yeah.
That's alright.
And then like the like 1k power on your opponent's turn is like alright, but like in context, if you're running just like mono blue for like Minami does, I feel like Minami's gonna die no matter what. When it's
Yeah,
your
you want
opponent's
to be
turn.
more offensive and defensive with the way like Minami works.
Yeah, at least with Kaneko, you get the 500 on both turns. At least that's the trade-off. So like your Minami is like stronger at least on your turn if you run this Brainstormer. Like I mean, if you run the Kaneko Brainstormer compared to this Brainstormer, but I can understand why if one person like if a person wants to like tech like this card is like a one-off just in case. I guess they want to search.
Just because you want to search instead of salvage.
Because it's any music character, like it's not color restricted or whatever. So, but it's alright. It just gets outshined by like another Brainstormer. Yeah, in the set.
Yeah.
Some people might say this is like best girl. Other people might say she's a basic bitch, but she is an Akatsuki effect.
Whoa, calm down here. Calm down.
She's a blue Akatsuki, so on play you ditch a card and then you reveal top 4, and then if it's a blue character you add it to your hand and you put the rest of the in room.
Look, man, she did nothing wrong in the JP set. All right, like she didn't deserve to get banned. I don't think. I mean, you're gonna tell me
she's
blue
probably
Akatsuki.
one of the best.
You're telling me a blue Akatsuki.
I'm not saying she's bad.
Before
I'm not saying she's bad. I'm saying other people.
Akatsuki doesn't get banned because Akatsuki is just any better.
I like Ren, but I can understand why some people say she's like generic.
She's not generic. She's perfect.
Yeah, she's the more developed out of
the 3 new generations.
But then, like when you're comparing her to like Uzuki and Miyu, I mean, like, is it really gonna be a fucking competition?
Not at all. Obviously, there's a reason why she was treated so well in the anime.
Yeah.
I guess this effect too is pretty flavorful for the Mobage game as well.
Usually she powers up like blue other cool idols, right? If she's on the team, like usually her type of effects are like that.
Alright, that's also another thing. This entire set is like based off, even though there was an anime, this kind of all originates from a video game.
Yeah, there's definitely a like Mobage like flavor in here as well.
Yeah.
In context, though,
Yeah,
this
this
effect
guy's-
is really good though, because like it also this effect is seen in CG2 as well. Like people still play this card, and it works with so many decks like Asterix or like Mono Blue, or like Blue Saki, right?
I
could
believe
splash
in
this
Blue
against
Saki
me.
they choose Kome over this.
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
just
true. Yeah,
normal,
they choose
because,
Kome.
they're running Minami,
Yeah.
so you get that consistent.
Yeah. And like I guess Arisu is like your other discard outlet option.
Yeah,
Since
your
like
substitute. Yeah.
like Kome's not actually a discard. Well, like she is, but like you're still gonna have a climax.
You
back
still
in
get
your
the
hand
free
if you
mill
add,
for.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get the free mill for regardless of Kome.
Yeah, no, Azusarin, this card's good.
Yeah.
This is my choice of when I play TP,
Mhm.
just because like you don't have anything in the deck that replaces Azusa.
Like currently, right now, this is still one of the more expensive SPs, and there's a reason why, because this card is still like pretty strong.
Yeah, this effect's pretty degenerate too. Like,
then you just have like bad players who like use this type of effect and they pick like a fucking yellow or red card. It's like what?
Yeah, call him out. God damn.
But that's all I have to say. Is there anything else you guys want to say about Renakowski?
There's not much to say about it.
Still play
really
for
good.
if you're playing Astro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's all I
you
gotta
played
say.
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
a card
definitely
that's
one of the
super
cards you
fun.
want to see opening hand.
Yes.
Um,
I mean, there's nothing really to say about this card.
Yeah,
Across
the
are
odds
always
effect
good.
is
next,
just like really
we get on to everyone's cum slut, but mostly my cum slut. Look at this girl.
God, she looks like she's ready to take a facial.
There's a reason why her eyes are white.
Well, I'm ready to give it, so yeah.
Everyone's leader, pretty much Manami. When a climax is placed from your placed into climax slot, she gets 1500 power. So pretty much when you always play climax, she's always going to be at least 6k. And then when
Which
you have
is amazing with the Asterisk climax, because you're just playing a stock soul that game and it just gets 1500 feet. Like, yeah, why not? Sure.
she also has a climax
Check out
combo.
of the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also has her
So
own
good.
climax combo, everyone's leader, which is also extinct as a triple R, the triple R version. Anyways, though, when it's placed in your climax slot and when the battle point of this becomes reverse, you look it up to 4 and you add a music character and you show it to your opponent and then you ditch the rest and then you choose one of your characters and it gets 2k power for the turn. So this type of effect is like a snowball effect. You want to get like 3 of these off like the turn that you play them, so it's just like you get so much value. Like if one Manami goes off, then all the other Manamis will pretty much go off. So if you do
Yeah, then
play
the other
against,
Manamis hit like at least 9k.
yeah. So if you do play against CG, then a good thing to know is like if you're gonna wall off the first Manami, because there's a good chance you probably won't wall off the other 2 Manamis if one goes off. So. And also in context you could splash this in like other builds as well. Like
Yeah, because she grabs music. It's not
Yeah.
restricted toward color for what she can add to your hand.
mhm.
Well, if she's everybody's leader, she better be grabbing every music character.
And like her SP is still worth some money for JP at least. Like it went down, but it's still like it's
I think
still
it went down,
priced.
but then like it slightly went back up after like
Yeah,
the
think
second
same
phase
price as-
came
same
out because
price as
people
Rip.
like jump into
Oh.
the Blues build.
yeah.
And JP.
Yeah.
But for English, it's still one of the more pricier SPs for the set.
Or even
Yeah,
double
I
X.
think Ren and Meaning are both.
Yeah, even the double
like
Rs,
150 or something.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the cards like you feel happy about though if you pull in your box.
God, you're a god if you do.
Yeah, or if you pull them from 6 packs, right, Enrique?
I hate you.
No,
No, or Phil Lewis, and you enter a freaking 4-round 5 tournament at Manatide, and this man enters with Milky Homes, gets second place with Milky Homes demo deck, by the way, and then he gets
Demo
back to
deck, not the actual.
No, he played the demo deck, got second place, and then he pulls a mini me out of his prize packs.
Sounds like it was a good day to play the Milky Homes.
That
Oh.
man is a legend, respected. 2 times perspective.
Another thing to note, like in the anime, she's like really toned down, but like in the the mobile version, she's actually like she comes off like very like sexual, like her images, like her outfits or whatever, like
Yeah, her card art.
yeah, like it's very sexual.
I like that one meme. It's like, oh, she went from saying like hello or something to like, oh, your son calls me mommy too.
Yes.
And it's like it's her in like the maid outfit with like a whip or something. Oh man.
Dude, the things I do to get in between those thighs.
Pretty much walking sex up. But anyways, we'll go into the next double R.
Oh, the Ronco, the things I would do to get in those thighs as
Thighs,
well.
literally
Oh
thighs.
god.
3-2 Sephiroth. I'm just kidding. Barranco, she heals on play, and then with her climax, which is a book, you place top 5 cards from your deck to waiting room, deal your opponent X damage, where X is equals to the climax, and she also gets 2k power for the turn. And also damage can be
That's a good
cancelled. Yeah.
So I've played with this card a lot, and it's definitely not consistent, but it definitely has its uses. Like I remember one round at New York, I was pretty much like completely out. Like I think I was like out 7, and then the last climax I had was in my hand, which was her book, and I think I tried fielded all 3 of these, and just like healed and milled 15 cards, and then got my 3 triggers, and it actually pushed me towards my next refresh, so I wouldn't like just eat a shit ton of damage. So like this card's definitely not like consistent when it comes to game ending, but it definitely has like other utilities to it, such as the heal and milling.
I just feel like a card that can't confirm at least its effect.
Yeah, you're not getting confirmed advantage of it, but you're not paying anything for it either.
Yeah.
That
Which
is
is
true.
the other, well, other than the 2 stock for playing her, but yeah. This card's not like completely terrible, but it's definitely not the best.
If you do run this card, you could technically splash the 2-1 round grosses from the TD as well. Where you can like when the climax is played, you can look at the top card for the top or bottom. That's like 1 more card deeper for your round grow effect. But I agree though, like it's not one of the like I wouldn't consider this as like a finisher though, because like it's not like guaranteed.
Not
like
a
you're not
true
guaranteed. Yeah, you're not getting like a guaranteed like burn one or whatever. But if anything, you're just milling through. Like Jimmy said, you're just getting that free mill, which is always nice to have. Wait, does she always gets the yeah. She always gets 2k power, right? Like even if you don't reveal a climax, she still gets the 2k power, the extra 2k power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Rocco's a good girl too, so you know.
Yeah, there's
if
nothing
you
wrong.
play her,
Yeah.
no one's gonna question you.
Yeah.
I literally have to like her because I pulled her as my SSR on Starlight stage, so you know, and I kind of have to accept it.
And the SP is nice. Like the SP looks pretty sexy.
Oh, it does. Very cool.
Yeah, her SP is really nice.
Yeah. Like I've yet to meet someone that hates Round Girl. Like pretty much any CG fan would say like they like Round Girl. Like as a character.
Yeah, I'm not really like I'm not even like really big into Chunies. Like I don't hate Chunies at all, but it's just not like
she's more tolerable.
That I love.
Yeah.
But like yeah, her Chunie is like definitely more toned and well rounded.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say well toned. She's well rounded. She has no Asuka. She's well rounded.
No, she's not like over the top Chunie.
Yeah, she's not like in your face.
Yeah. She's
and
just
her
like
episodes,
not subtle Chunie, but like it's like a good amount of Chunie.
Yeah, and her episodes in anime were pretty nice to watch. I think it's one of the more noticeable episodes. Yeah. But I guess we'll go on to either Jimmy or Andy's waifu.
Anastasia Nguyen, thank you very much.
Spasiba.
Horror show. Pretty much, you'll see this card in a lot of decks. But if you don't know, if you have 3 more other blue characters, she gets 1k power, so she'll be 11k. And then you can pay to place 1 card from hand to waiting room. Place 1 of your characters from stage into waiting room. This ability can only be activated once each turn. When it's placed from hand to stage and the battle point of this becomes reversed, you choose 1 My First Star Manami, which can either be the 1-0 from this booster or the 0-0 from the trial deck, and you get it from your waiting room and you place it to any slot on stage. Obviously, you want to put this in your front row though, so you can get in like another attack.
I feel like this card is all right.
Yeah.
What's amazing in the blue deck, obviously, it's very good in that deck. I feel like in the red blue Asters, it's just not good enough because most of the time your end game for red blue is going to come down to like double Miku or at least 3 Miku, not 3 Miku, 2 Miku, and then maybe Iconic on the back row. So there's times where like I feel like I won't have the extra buff, so her attack obviously isn't as high.
Yeah, that's
That's
one
the
of the
biggest problem.
problems she faces when you like splash her an asterisk. But even then, your opponent's like pretty much forced to play around not giving you something like that she can kill for free. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I feel like she's kind of like you kind of have to run her just because most of the time, even if you're running red and blue, you're still running the My First Star Minimies, so it's always good as an option just to have it anyways.
Yeah, and then she doesn't require a climax or anything, so that's always nice.
Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
good to have.
She doesn't have to conflict with the asterisk at all. So
Yeah,
works.
and then like for English at least, like you don't really care if you get compassed or like darkness plan on the Anya because you'll still get another attacker in.
Yeah, and if you have a
Yeah.
1K, if you have like a 1K one out, then the me that comes out from her will also have 2 soul.
Yeah. And you don't care like if the Manami dies or whatever because you're still getting another attack regardless.
Yeah, you're just gonna crash the me half more than half the time, to be honest, just to get like that extra soul damage in.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do agree though.
What
With,
makes you
like,
really lose too is obviously if they sack off the character.
I do agree though with
And I'm like-
checks because like you want to at least from like you want to get. I feel like you do want to get 2 Miku and also it'll fulfill your condition for like your 2 reds and 2 blues for like your rest counter if you have that in your hand. If you do run the rest counter.
Yeah,
That's
she can
also
help with
considered,
that since your back row is probably going to be Konako and Rina.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you're probably going to have at least 2 Mikus, and like, you know, you plop one Anastasia down, now you have the condition for the rest counter.
Yeah, if you do run the rest counter, yeah. So it's also a thing to consider.
Assuming that Anya stays alive
Yeah.
into your opponent's next turn.
Yeah, that's another thing. If your opponent doesn't like play back up or they use like a sack counter to like so your Anya doesn't get a reverse or whatever. So
Yeah.
there's things to consider when you do play this card.
And it's also best girl out of the entire series.
But
Heads
you,
up,
I pulled her SP off. Thank you very much.
yeah,
that card's also very hard to pull.
yeah, and the SP version, especially for I've yet to find one in English that's like available right now.
Am I the only one who's seen that pull this being? I flipped that when I pulled this too.
Shout out advice to anybody that plays Star Wars Stage. Her event's about to start up this week, just so you know.
And Kevin over here wasn't going to participate in Best of Girl event.
Actually, I'm trying. I kind of admitted that I wanted to try. Actually,
I mean, it's good. You get Yuka as well. It's great.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for the Anya for like
Most
JP, you can splash it though in like other builds as well.
Yeah,
Like, it's a consideration.
I mean,
It's essentially like a 5-card engine if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you probably play at least 2 of the Anya, and then you know at
3
least
of
3
the
of the
1-0.
Mimi. Either you want to play the level 0 or the level 1.
Yeah.
The fact that CG's level 3 game is so diverse that you can splash this engine still, even if you're only running the minimies, it's just too good. I mean, you never know when your opponent could leave a level 0 up at front.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you use
exactly.
that for bait. You use that as bait.
Yeah.
And at worst, you can grab this off of the Osisa room. So
Yeah, that's the other thing.
that's-
She's like a finisher she's pretty much a finisher that Azusarin can grab, whereas you can't get Miku off Azusarin.
Yeah,
Or
that's true.
yeah.
And like usually, like with the cards you mill out, like with like if you run aspects or with like the Miku or like with even in mono blue for English at least, like with the Renakatsuki or in general, like there's a good chance that your 1-0 My First Star Manami will be in writing room. Or even if like you have it in hand, like you just fulfill your condition to get that.
You can discard it and then summon the one that you discarded.
So getting the Manami is not an issue. The My First Star Manami, for most parts, yeah. Like when I did play this card, like it's pretty easy to get the effect off.
Yeah.
Or like meet the conditions, I guess. Well, that's all the double R's for blue. So we're open up to rares, commons, uncommons, and
It's actually a decent amount for this color.
This color has so many colors that are so like usable. There's so much utility in blue.
Yeah.
That you're even in CG and JP after the ban list, there's still so many cards you can run. That's not even. It's like there's so many utility.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just go from left to right because every single card in these lines all seems to be somewhat usable.
Not every single card, like a lot of the cards. I guess the Anya, definitely the Anyas.
The Anya Global 500 is very good with the Act Boost. I mean, when you play your 2K backup set, becomes a 2/5.
Yeah, 2,500 costless backup is
Yeah,
pretty
free.
good.
Yeah.
In mono blue, if you have this in arena, I guess you get technically make your front center and middle get 1,500, right? Or is it?
Hmm.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
And then the SR is pretty nice, the foil version of it.
Cute. You can see more of her
Yeah,
cleavage
from
in
the
it.
I also pulled that SR out of my case. Yeah,
Yeah,
tell you, man. Anastasia Nguyen, she came home. I'm telling you.
Next card, the best card, probably the best level one I can see from here, other than maybe my first star mini, is the Asterisk Arena.
Oh yeah, the support.
Asterisk.
The support, yeah.
Yeah,
One of the better
Asterisk
ones,
Arena
yeah.
is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because like, yeah,
nice.
you control your triggers. It's good.
Yeah.
Even if you're not like at level 3, just playing over throughout the entire course of the game, you're gonna know what you're triggering.
Yeah.
You stock soul, and then you can maybe make sure you don't dig a climax 3 cards down. You can make it the top card of your stock.
Yeah, I've done that
Yeah.
so many times. It's like, oh well, let's see. Instead of triggering my climax on my first attack, I'll make it on my last attack and then pay it out next turn.
Yep.
I'll just put in the drawer.
It's overall, bro.
I will.
Overall,
Just
card.
Yeah, there's a good level 500.
Plus, it also climax combos. So
Yeah.
with the level 3, so why not? I guess. The next card, the Rin. Obviously not played, but it is a funny card if you're playing the Waifu Rin deck in JP. Free, what is it, 10-5, level 2 is pretty good.
Yeah, if you reverse something on the 2K1. It's called
Pretty good.
I used to run it when I didn't have anomalies before.
Yeah. It's technically plus, yeah. Yeah.
Pretty,
It's technically plus, so you're keeping them on the field.
Plus her SR is cute. Oh god, I have a place that is cute.
yeah.
And there's also the Ronco engine. If people
The Ronco changes,
yeah.
they're average. I tested them. They're not as great as like what Patch Cats made them seem like. No shots fired. I'm just saying, like in general, it's actually not as great as you think it is. It's just it's so situational. And even though this deck does have a lot of milling capacity, you still have to get the right one in your hand at least first. And
it's so much work too, like just keeping
the cycle going.
Yeah, like making sure your timing is right, so you don't like misplay.
The fact that you mill so much can be easily is nice that because you can make sure you have your target engraved and then have one in hand. But the fact that you mill so much as well is also the fact that you'll run out of your target, so you could possibly just refresh and then not have to target.
Yeah, for English, yeah. If I went to English regional and I played like the Ronco build, I feel like I'd like hate myself because I'd have to explain the effects like so many people. And like if people who do know the effect, like if I miss the timing, it's like, oh well, I'm fucking screwed now.
Yeah.
And we have my first cum slut.
I was holding in a load mini.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wow! I'm like looking at the picture now too. After you said that.
And then like her foil version is like, thank you.
Jesus. Just taking one for the team.
The
leader she is. It's a good card. I mean,
she's pretty much always going to be 70. Yeah.
I'm actually a big fan of like the burst beater level ones with this effect. So yeah, I really like this card personally. I mean, yeah, they do die to like
next turn.
The next turn, like
it doesn't matter. Like you did the work anyways. Yeah.
It does what it needs to do.
Yeah. Next is
the
the
Mizuki.
Mizuki.
Backup.
Yeah.
Mizuki, right? Yeah, that card. I don't run it currently.
This card.
I probably am going to go back to running one of it or two of it. I did like it a lot, actually.
In English, I prefer playing this over the side just because, like, all your stuff after your turn, like at level 1, it's gonna die. Like, there's no way to get around it.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually gonna die, so I feel like I'd rather have the utility in the scry rather than just the power from the costless 2K backup.
Yeah. I feel like the one thing that I noticed about myself that I trigger so many climaxes, so I feel like having that ability to pay out one during my opponent's turn is also very good.
Yeah.
And this character is also voiced by the beautiful and amazing Nao Toyama. So yeah. Funny story. This is a character that is the reason why I started watching CG because Nao was voiced by her. I'm like, oh, where I can listen to Nao.
And her last event, very good. I love the song. Nocturne was a really good song.
The 3-2
Kaide. I like it.
And next up is Koi Kaizi Wen and Starlight Stage, please. Since this game's release, I think Koi Kaizi was a song. And to this day, after when did this game come out? Like 2010, 2011? That song is still yet to be in the game. And after like 6 years of voting, her song has ended up in second almost every year. So we've yet to still get the song. And this may be the year finally, because it seems like the only competition is Mio, and come on, it's Mio.
Yeah, that's no competition.
So I'm gonna kind of hype for it. Actually, this card's amazing. A lot of the mono blue players do type this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I teched one in my build.
When
Even for
started off,
asterisks, I teched one.
I ran this in my funny Miku plus 2 Soul Climax because I ran yellow as well in that with blue splash. So I'd make like the stupidest like scry endgame.
Yeah, this plus the Mizuki counter can be pretty nice together.
It's pretty funny. Overall, pretty good card.
Especially in English, like
too.
there's not much effects that have this type of effect. The P5
Also, it gets a lot of power, so I mean, guess why not?
You pretty much end up controlling the middle lane with her out. Like very few times has she died.
I mean, unless people draw like Titans, they're probably not gonna get a really good shot at it.
Yeah, even if she's reversed, you still get the ability to scry potentially when you don't cancel.
Yeah.
So.
It's not bad. I like it.
And she's also a case topper. Yeah, she's one of the case toppers.
And she has a pretty good save as well. Yeah. Hayami Sayori, I believe.
Oh yes, very good. Her SP is very cute. I like it. I remember I went out of my limb to buy that SP.
Yeah, I kind of wish I got the blue ones now, just so I could have like Hayami in now as signature. Well, I already have Sap now as signature, but can't have too many.
The time is now.
Some builds run the 0-0 run where she's 4K, like you have 6 more cards in hand. I mean,
this card's good. Well, not good, but this card's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad if you do run it. Like it's understandable why you run it.
Yeah.
Like
it's good first turn.
The later parts of the game.
Yeah,
she's still gonna be like 4K. You play a climax with global 500 out. She can be it's not bad.
There's also the 1-1 Anya.
We skipped over the good comment. The one that's on the ban list, right?
Stop, KRS.
I'm kidding. I wish. Oh man, the 1-1 Anya was like for the mono players, they were teching this as a 2-off. I feel like it was a constant tech. It doesn't like wet t-shirt competitions, but nothing else. She's got a hand on core, very good. Yeah. Keep her alive. Is it clock on core? I don't know. I didn't play it. I didn't play it because I immediately jumped to red blue.
I played it, but then slowly realized I'm just not a fan of like 1-1s in general.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, it's like, why play a 1-1 when I can play this costless 1-0? They can probably hit the same numbers. Maybe not like just keep the same numbers, but
that's alright.
There's also Enrique's card, the 2-1 Rina that he texts in.
What?
The 2-1 Rina, if you have 2 or more red and blue.
I the 2-1 Rina, that's the one.
Oh, this Kex's card.
Ours lyrics. That's not actually my card. It's actually Andrew again, the guy who went to Worlds.
Oh man, it's your card.
This is actually a card that comes up a lot because I have a tendency to like always get the mini climax, just because I triggered so many pants. So I don't have a problem with that. My problem tends to be having the minimies, all 3 minimies. So most of the time I end up with like at least 2 minimies, and I'll have this in hand, and then most of the time I'll have like 2 Conicals in the back. And pretty much this card says that if you have exactly 2 blues and 2 red carriers on your stage, you can early drop this as a level 1. So it becomes a 1-1 blue AK wall, and the thing is to have 2 minimies on your side most of the time. If you can at least confirm that you can run with something on the side, and then 2 Conicals in the back, and then early drop this. So you kind of have like a huge wall during your opponent's turn, so it's not like your only option is like, oh, my minimies are just gonna die. At least you have one character that can maybe make it most of the time.
Yeah.
And most of the time, like I know I've gotten a lot of hate on this by a lot of my Orlando friends because they're like, oh, I just easily suicided or not suicided out. I just bomb, like not bomb. God dang. I'll just pick some big thing to get over it because it's just an AK vanilla. But most decks, like at least in English, from what we know, can't really deal with huge walls.
Yeah, level 1. Yeah.
Can't deal with this. So this card can actually just steal like completely steal the middle lane from level 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Also the fact that it's a soul trigger, so it's another trigger because a lot of the times you end up not having triggers in this deck.
There's also the 2-2 now. Some people splash the 2-2 now.
I know.
tech this as one, just so like if you don't get the Anzu out, this is pretty much like your backup plan at level 2.
That's good. And,
and I really like this card a lot. See, it's weird. Like I don't like 1/1s, but I like 2/2s. I'm a weird person, and like hand on court is like the best on court.
Yeah, I mean it is a two soul beater or anything. It's always nice to have.
Having that 2-soul beater earlier than your opponent is always nice. I mean, also just being able to screen the times now when you drop it on your opponent is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, am I the only one who does that?
She has the potential to get 10k if you have the right back row. So she could be nice footer.
Yeah, she's at least 9k on the sides, if anything.
Yeah.
It's a fun card.
There's also
I like this card a lot.
Yeah, one of my favorite cards, I think, for CG set 1 is the 0/0 Harino, the one that gives another character 1500 power and glasses trait. That can help like your Manamis, I guess. It's like your cheaper, easier to get version of Puchimikon. That's how they call him.
Yeah.
Except that it's not as strong at level 0 if it's like your only like attacker that you can play. Since you choose yourself.
Yeah.
But the trade-off is that you get the Mechanate trait.
Hey, value.
Yeah, that's a pretty good trade-off. I take it.
You can watch the last episode of what's the last episode? It was the last episode, or was it either the last episode or episode before? Cinderella Girls, the newest like little chibi ones. It was an episode of her and her talking about all her glasses the entire time. It was hilarious.
This next blue beater, I've seen JP play this.
Akiyama there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Remember when this type of
effect? Wouldn't play it just because I feel like there's other like if you want like a level 0 beater in blue, I feel like there's other options.
The Rena from set 2 is actually pretty good too, but I feel like it's a better option than this.
Remember when this type of effect was like a double R in older sets? Now it's just like a common, like really old
some
sets.
random side character like common.
Why is she army trait? What, am I missing something?
What?
Like on Little Akiba, it says she's army trait.
She's what? Army?
Yeah.
Army trait. Yeah.
She probably has something
like that.
What
is it?
Yeah, I think it's her.
But
she probably has like some. It's probably one of her backstories in like the Kamu's, the Starlight stage that I just never actually paid attention to.
Well, I mean, it's a moon rune, so I don't think you can actually be able to.
I go read the translations. It's just like I didn't really care about these characters.
I'm sure you do, Kex.
I guess is there any other? Oh, besides the rest counter.
The 2/3 counter.
Yeah, you guys skipped over Pikun.
Although
man.
Did a Deku.
Oh, I mean, we went over the effect with the Yuki, but
the climax swap,
climax swap. But it's in blue though, so like that's another important thing.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The 2/3 Miku Arena event is pretty good too. I used to tech this a lot. I feel like I'm gonna try and at least tech 2 of these now again. Yeah. Only because of the fact, like I said, the arenas like because one thing I realized is at level 2 you don't really have too much of a consistent like constant color base on your field. It could be really random. But with the 2/1, I should have something on.
Well, these type of effects, you want to play at level 3 anyways, I feel like. Like you rather say this type of effect for like when you know you're about to die or whatever, you feel like you're going to die, then you can just play this at level 3.
Yeah, that too.
I've sometimes had trouble filling the condition, just like based off what was in my hand. Like sometimes I wouldn't have an Anya to play, and like I would just play like 2 Mikus and an Anzu to heal. And then at that point, I pretty much have only 1 blue, which is going to be the 1/0 Arena, because Kanako is probably my other back row. And then, so sometimes I just like couldn't fill this condition.
For English, it is like it's relevant in most matchups, but it is a pretty dead card against like Tularu for like the level 3s, like they triple Yami or whatever. So that is something to consider though. So
I think that's like the only matchup where it's really bad.
Yeah, but for like this is good against like a Kagi or like Musashi or whatever. So. Or like any other relevant level 3s. This can...
I actually put the 2/1 Minami backup. That was a little further back.
Oh, yeah.
That just mills 3.
The backup. Yeah, mill 3. Yeah, force.
No, that's that one. I played one at New York, and it actually helped me out every time I used it. I just milled 3 characters off my deck.
Yeah.
So it was essentially like a bit that I didn't have to top deck.
And the 3k power is actually pretty nice, too. Like, it's a considerable size when you back up.
Yeah, the backup's fine. It has its uses. Like if you play it as a tech,
Yeah,
it's bad.
she looks so
It would
like
be,
serious in that picture.
it would be hilarious if the 1-0 arena in the background could actually was any time that the asterisk climb ups was played. So that way, when your opponent plays it, if you play it in the mirror, you could check your top three and then have your top three confirmed for this backup.
Bruh.
Bruh, that'd be hilarious. But obviously, it doesn't work like that because it's a Weiss.
Yeah.
What
I
else
guess
is
that's pretty much it for all the cards for
So-
Cinderella Girls. Is there any other like blue promos that were?
Oh, I guess the blue card's in the TD, which is the 0/0 Rin.
So
Oh
good.
yeah, the
One that
scribe.
like scries and like hand filters when she attacks with the music.
Yeah, she scries on death.
And then obviously the Hotako counter, aka Jupiter.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jupiter
Yeah,
counter.
I think those are only two like blue cards worth noting out of the trial deck.
Yeah. Damn, there's a lot of
Alright,
blue cards in the trial deck. The blue trial deck.
Yeah. I think there was a Ronco that had multiple arts, right?
Yeah, I think it's just because
Yeah, it's is it the
vanilla-
vanilla?
yeah,
Yes,
it's just
level
vanilla,
0 vanilla.
And she had multiple arts.
And then technically you could, if you wanted to, like put in like the 0/0 My First Star Minami, just because like the effect is nice, like 3,500 power in your opponent's turn. Essentially, that's alright. But I feel like I'd rather play the 1/0 Minami than My First Star Minami if I do play this type of card. Like I'd rather play
Yeah, I feel like
the
the 0/0 Minami is there for people that like want to run Ronco change, and it's like I don't want to clog up my level ones too much.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess that's pretty much it for CG. I guess what are your guys' general opinions of like the first set? I feel like the first set had a lot of like good utility cards, especially like at zeros.
Coming in originally, the very first time it came into English, I feel like this was like kind of how like people reacted when Tularu came. People were like, "Oh my gosh, this set has so much utility, more than any other set has before." It's gonna be extremely dominant. Obviously, it was.
Are you talking about set one?
Yeah,
just set one only in English. I mean,
yeah, no, definitely. Like I don't think there's any set in English that has as much utility in their like level. Or yeah,
I don't think there's any other set in this entire English. Right? Yeah, there's no other set in English that has this much dominance over its utility and overall just characters, and so even its endgame is pretty good. Like obviously, there's no like true finisher like Yami, but it has like the ability to have such a diverse endgame that it can adapt itself to pretty much against any other set, and make sure that it's not like, oh, I can't obviously.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to stick to one game plan for what it wants to do at level 3.
Exactly.
Essentially, it can like do what it wants to do depending on the matchup.
Pretty much, yeah.
And it's definitely like the modern like consideration where like people should be more understanding. Like maybe they shouldn't have 3 level zeros at like when it's the time that your opponent's level 1. So like you don't. So like your opponent gets like 3 Manamis off. She's pretty much kind of like the modern like Shimakaze scare where like people shouldn't like be having like level 0 like a whole bunch of level zeros on the field. Like they should be more considerate against like on reverse effects. Level 1 on reverse plus effects.
What Shimakaze? I play Haguro.
Right.
It's 100 times better, and if you think if you think Shimakaze is actually the better one, you're crazy.
Sad that some people actually still do, but
I can't believe people actually still think that's better of a combo, but whatever. I'll let them
for English at least. We're talking about
if you top, you're just a sack. Especially with how the sets are now, especially with SAL Re-Ed coming out just now. I think most sets now actually have to look at everything, at least the SAL decks, more objectively than before. You can't.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot more options.
And like
they actually have to think about like, oh man, this deck can do this, and it actually can set up way much better now.
And like for the JP aspect, at least like this set is still pretty good because like there's a lot of cards that carry over, like nicely for like since like CG2 has been out, like there's still a lot of cards that you get like put into your decks for CG for JP. So I think it's one of the more rounded out sets for Weiss in general. Like obviously it has like some flaws, like the level 3s aren't like too amazing or whatever. That's okay though, because like not every set can be like perfect or whatever. Or not every set can be like all around like badass level 3 or whatever. But it's there. Like the level 3s are serviceable for if you're only talking about like the first set at least.
I guess it's perfectly makes sense that we don't have such amazing like broken end games like obviously Tularu does, but obviously the amount of utility that this set has kind of makes up for it, and you can't really complain at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's trade offs definitely when it comes to like sets. Like
if you're complaining, you're kind of pushing it. You already have way too much in it.
Exactly. Yeah. So like for a lot of sets, either you have good utility, or you have like really good end game.
I feel like sets like this and Contai are kind of like the reason why people ask for an English ban list. Obviously, I hope you don't ever get one, but
yeah.
I can see why people would, because compared to most other sets that people play, like random sets like Madoka or stuff like that, you don't have obvious utility like this. So you seeing a set like this get this much utility kind of probably would be upsetting. But I mean, and the game just keeps evolving and keeps progressing, and power creeps, I guess.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before we get some really, really broken cards.
I do want to see like this set like top more in English, just because like a lot of people like. I don't know. Like when I see CG top like in English, like I don't feel bad or anything. Like I feel like it's one of those sets where it's like there's definitely there's a lot of skill involved. I feel like for for English CG
it's definitely the most technical set out of all the sets, out of most of the meta deck.
Yeah, your level 3s definitely don't carry you like to the win.
Exactly.
Compared to like other sets.
I feel like CG and now SAO with the new support, I feel like they're the most technical sets to play. Obviously, the easiest being like Contai and Tularu, just because of how extremely lenient they are at just, get the one combo, get my end game, that's it. There's nothing else to the game for those sets. I mean, like, it's obviously when you see like Contai or TLR or like AOT even, people are like, oh my god, it's deck one again, of course, But when you see people say like, oh, CG1 or like SAO1, like, okay, that's cool.
For like the Rin and for like Manami effects, like obviously like they're pretty degenerate in what they do, but like picking out that one card that you need, whatever, I feel like that's very skill based, because like you need to pick out a card that's like you can adapt, like will be good for your situation or whatever. Like what card will benefit me out the most. So I feel like when people like pick their card, whatever, it kind of like shows like their skill and like how they evaluate what their game plan is, whatever.
I feel like on mill search, like on top 4 check search, are a little bit better than just a regular searcher.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Reverse searcher. I mean, both are very good, obviously, just because obviously a regular searcher can just grab you the exact card you want.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're also milling damage.
Yeah, to get to your refresh closer.
And a set like CG, specifically a set like this, if you're milling what you're milling, most of the time should be good anyways. Like, you should have a good card you should be grabbing anyways. It doesn't matter if you're like, obviously don't grab your enemy, but if you're grabbing like
you plus no matter what.
If you're grabbing an enemy or if you're grabbing like the 1/0 asterisk, obviously you're still getting a really good card. So you can't really horribly nag unless you hit like obviously all your climaxes.
You're getting value no matter what, because like you're hand fixing or like you're adding like a card in your hand that you want to add anyways.
Yeah, and potentially getting rid of damage. So
yeah,
I don't know really what else to say about the set other than utility deck.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. You guys have anything else you want to say about the set, or do you guys want to move on to CG2?
I think we've covered this set pretty well.
Yeah. I don't really think there's anything else
to
talk about.
So, like I said, CG2 came out on April 22nd, 2016, and that was like when it was first announced. Like everyone was so hyped because before, like they announced like they showed the artwork, right, and then after that they gave like a list of the SPs or whatever, and like people were kind of surprised. Not really surprised. Some people were like surprised with like the SP lineups was different or whatever, because it made sense though, because like season 2 was more focused on like other girls, like Project Corona girls.
Focused on.
It was like it was more focused around like a certain couple girls from the main cast, and then their support characters. Like obviously you saw Rin and then TP behind her, or you see Miku, and then you see like Nana and what's her name, the guitar girl, forgetting her name.
Natsuki.
Natsuki for Rina, for like her support character.
The only girl I feel like that got an SP that wasn't really focused on too heavily was probably Adisu and Fumi.
Yeah, pretty much.
Adisu, Fumi, and like maybe Chihiro.
Yeah.
And like these other random, like obviously K-stoppers. But for the most part,
they're definitely,
most of the ones actually did make sense.
Yeah, they're definitely like fan favorites. So, like a lot of people like Fumika though. Like people.
Fumika's such a popular girl in CG. She's actually probably more popular than most of the main girls in like.
That's true. But yeah, a lot of people were like hyped for this set.
I was extremely hyped at the fact that when CG1 got announced in English, I was like, I don't care, I'm not buying it. I'm buying TV.
Yeah.
But I ended up buying it anyways because waifu.
Yeah, I bought both just because I like the set, the anime.
So I guess we'll get on to it. We'll start off with there was no trial decks for the set, but like who cares?
I think they give you plenty of trial decks for the first set at least.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I guess we're going to yellow. We get this 3/2 Mio Honda. When she's placed from hand to stage, you drop 2 cards and you choose 1 card from hand and place into your room. So it's draw 2, discard 1. And then when she attacks, if her climax, it's a win trigger. Is in the climax slot. If you have 4 more other yellow characters during the turn, she gets 2k power and the following ability, pay 2. This ability can only be activated up to once per turn. So pretty much for each copy of the for this effect, obviously this applies to only 1 copy. But if you have multiple and you have the stock, then yeah, go for it. When damage dealt by this is cancelled, you may pay cost. If you did, deal 5 damage to your opponent.
This card was, I think this card did justice to yellow, at least giving them an endgame. Well, kind of.
It gave them an endgame. I don't think it's the endgame
that they needed.
Agreed. It gave them an option at endgame to not just like, oh, let me just grab some random characters and put them as markers under me or whatever. It gave them like, hey, let me actually just try and be a sack. Like if it happens, it happens, And I remember when the set first dropped, a lot of people in Japan and all over that were playing it in JP. I actually did play this card a lot at first. It was really funny. Overall, I feel like it was a good card to give up to them.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think the real upside for this card is you're paying when they cancel, not like on attack or something.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Yes. So like you're not paying 2 stock for nothing essentially. If they, if it was like on attack or something.
Yeah, that is true.
I thought it was needed. Yeah, I liked it.
In its own build, it's pretty decent. Yeah.
I feel like if I do play, like,
it's pretty much mono yellow.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, because of the requirement. But
yeah,
if I do play this level 3, like assuming if I run the yellow build, I feel like I would obviously probably attack with this card last, just so like the deal 5 damage, you're probably sticking more. Like assuming if your opponent has like climaxes before then, like before this attack or whatever, so you can just get through like climaxes with the other attacks and like try to get 5 damage in with this effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Enrique said, like it's like a finisher, but it's like probably not the finisher that they really needed.
It was something. It gave them something to like play for at least, which is what yellow needed.
Yeah. I mean, it's alright though.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can almost disregard most of the.
Yeah, she also digs for her climax.
In the first set in this deck.
It's always nice that she digs for her climax, but it's like for me, like I said, like the thing with like 5 damage is like it's like if you get 5 damage in, I feel like you're gonna win anyways, but I don't know.
I feel like 3 would have been the right number. 3 would have been really good.
Yeah, I feel like anything under 5 is more like, I guess I like if it's like 4 or less, then yeah. But it's still nice. I guess it's like again like it's a finisher regardless. I guess we're going to the double Ranatsuki.
She shot up in price after the second ban list.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember this.
If Over or like the newer version of Over is in your climax slot, this card in your waiting room gains red and blue as a color. So she's triple color in waiting room when you have those climaxes in play, and then also pay 1, place the top card of your deck into clock and place 1 card from hand to waiting room. When this is placed into waiting room from stage, you may pay cost. If you did, look at up to 6 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 red character and 1 blue character. Show it to your opponent. Add it to hand and place the remaining cards into waiting room. So for the first effect, the reason why that is there is just because like you can splash this into like obviously you want to put this into asterisk, and like if you mill this card with asterisk climax combo in play.
6. You guys go ahead first.
All right. You have the asterisk climax combo when you play, and you mill this card. You get both of the Miku effects, the burn one and the -1 soul. by milling this card. So that's why that's the reason why it gains those 2 colors. And then obviously the pay one, hit yourself 1, you plus 2 cards, a red character, and a blue character, and you did 6 cards deep.
I think it's pretty good. Either way, even before the ban list, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, this fight is definitely solid all around.
It definitely made Asterix a bit better. I feel like
it definitely helps them.
Yeah.
It helps confirm.
Combos really well with KBYD. I think this is Yuki, right? I think so. Yeah, it's a global 500, but it has an ability where like you place one of your characters from stage to waiting room to choose one of your music characters, and it gains plus 1500 for the turn. So like you can like actively trigger the Natsuki off of it like during your own turn, considering if you have stock.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait for your opponent to kill it if you just like want that on demand, milling and just filtering through your deck. The only thing this card really loses to is like to any stock or clock reversers, since she has to be sent to waiting room.
Yeah, 1500 power.
And she is 1500 power as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
And also that she's strictly. I feel like you only play this card. I feel like for the Asterix build, it's pretty much the reason. But I don't for me at least.
With the Miria hit, you can still use this because of the colors.
Yeah. I guess that's pretty much it. I don't have much to say about that card. We're going to this 1-0 Rika. This is pretty much the upgraded version, the modern version of Girlfriend Beta Yellow, the 1-0 yellow card.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, when this attacks, you get 3 more other music characters. She gets 2k power, so 6/5. And then pay 1 when this attacks. If her climax, I believe it's a stock soul. Yeah, it's a yellow stock soul. If all your characters are yellow, obviously that's easy if you're playing mono yellow deck. You may pay cost if you did switch your deck for up to 1 music character, add it to your hand, show it to your opponent, obviously. And then during this turn, it gets another 2k power. So it's potentially 8/5.
8/5. 8/5.
Or 4 assist, yeah.
You still have a bonder to it, so it can get up to 9/5.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a solid level 1 plus in combo.
Yeah, and then obviously the first one is free because of this it being tied to her stock soul. So
doesn't she also combo like with the back row support?
Yeah,
I can remember.
She bonds to it,
and she also doesn't need to reverse.
There's a bonds to it.
There's also things she doesn't need to reverse as well. Like it's just nice that she ends up having high power. You get the search regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can kill something and get the search, then
more.
Well, I mean, obviously, on reverse combos do that in general. Well, they have to get the reverse, but like she hits really high numbers, so she probably is going to get the reverse and her search out.
Yeah, it's a solid card though.
It's definitely what Yellow wanted.
Yeah,
because I don't think they had any type of like advantage engine.
Yeah, no, like I said, they had a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, your plus is where your wall is not dying.
Yeah, Suicide or something.
Oh man.
Next is we have Go to Jail. 3/2 Miria.
Oh man, what I do to get in between those sides?
Literally another girlfriend beta card. If you have 4 more other yellow characters, she gets -1 level in your hand, and if you have 3 more other music characters, she gets 1500 power and ability. Auto ability, pay 1 at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase. You may pay cost. If you did choose another of your music character in the center slot of the front row in this card, you swap them, you stand them, and you swap them. And during this turn, it gets a 1500 power. And then when it's placed from hand to stage, you heal 1. So it's one of those field swappers that can get pretty annoying. That's an early drop.
It was a good early drop.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people talk, like when it came out, I didn't see a lot of people like talking about this card, like saying that it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know why, like the condition's easy, she can run to the middle, and like she heals. Like,
yeah, despite this being a yellow card, despite being this a yellow card, this is actually a pretty defensive card. it makes your opponent have to think when they're like going to attack. And anything, it's just like a nice early play healer, if anything.
Yeah, like it's just really simple early play condition with a heal tied to it. So yeah, this card's good in my opinion.
I'm guessing there's like and there's aren't there like assists on your turn where like you get power, whatever, you get like a decent amount of power on your turn for like for
Yeah, it's
CG.
a 2-1 level assist.
Yeah. So
It's just vanilla though, because you're not going around
oh yeah, that's
like
true.
kind of combo with it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Brings up to 11-5. 11-5 at level 2 that heals
Yeah.
perfectly fine. That's essentially what the Rize is in Rabbits.
I guess that's all the double R's for yellow. If there's any other rares or commons or uncommons or promos you guys want to talk about for yellow, then feel free to do so. I can't really think of
I
it.
believe.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
3-2
I
Yuki.
never played
3-2.
around with yellow too much, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Like,
can't.
so
I guess the first one that comes to mind is the 2-1 Yui from Project Crown.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's
That's
oh yeah,
Good
the
card,
2-1 Yui. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Totally forgot Project Crown. Oh yeah. No, I look at the top card
Storm, I think, though, right? In yellow now.
for
From the set.
little Akaba. I look at the top card.
It's
I look at the top section and I only thought there's only those cards left because I saw the 3-2 Nave.
What?
I thought the only top part of it, like you know where Nana is. I thought the top portion was only the yellow cards. I didn't realize there was a bottom section. Feels bad. But yeah, the 2-1 yellow assist for Project Carne is pretty good actually, giving extra soul.
Yeah, gives an extra soul, but you have to pay one type itself. Overall, with the end game, if you set up right enough and you time it perfectly for your opponent, it's pretty retarded. Like your Fumis should be attacking for 5 on each attack. Is it right? 3, 4, 5? Yeah, if you play it right.
Yeah, 5 with the climax.
The center one, I think it's I don't remember. Anyways, it's stupid. Like I've had time. Who was it against? I played. I think it was against Jenna, and she was playing Osumatsu, and I was behind in so much damage. But she was like a 2-0, 2-1, or like 1-6. I can't remember what it was. She had like 1 card left in deck, and she thought she was super compressed and all. But this is like the first time she also played against Project Chrome. So I was set up perfectly with triple Fumis and 2 of these in the back row already. So I dropped the triple Fumi, pushed back 15, and I literally killed her from there. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's also the one girl.
Is it
2-1
change stock reverser?
Yeah, the stock reverser. Yeah, that's also a case topper.
Oh well.
Yeah, that card's actually pretty nice. Yeah.
What? They got a plus in brainstorm, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, they have the other case topper. The yellow ones, the yellow 0-0. It's a pay 1 and then you tap 2 and then like it's a search brainstormer, search plus yellow.
Yeah, search.
And then during your turn, all your other music characters get 500 power. So obviously that yellow effect, giving power in your turn.
Well, the 1-0 Maria combo is pretty good too if you look at it. The one where she has like the little fox ears or whatever.
Oh god, this art.
The what?
Damn so cute.
She pretty much gets 2k if you have the other Rika on field. And then if she attacks, if the climax is a slot, if you did all your characters during the turn, get +1 soul. So it's not bad. And then if you have the other Miria in play, if you play the climax, you can return your opponent a character on your opponent's side of the field and back to their hand. So it's actually pretty decent. It's like a backup resort other than the Miria.
Yeah, I feel like though I'd rather than the Rika combo.
100%. I'm just saying, like, as a secondary option, if you didn't really feel
like a budget version.
Yeah, that's actually pretty fun. Yeah. It's like a pretty fun idea. Kind of like the Chitoge from the original series, but like at level 1.
Yeah.
With other cards.
There's also the event, I guess. I guess it's another card in yellow that's kind of scary, I guess, if it works.
They play that, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they play that.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
The 3 event. This stacks, too.
Yeah. If you have 4 or less yellow characters, it can't be played from hand. But that's pretty easy since you're playing yellow deck. And all your characters during this turn get 1k power, and ability of cancel burn, deal 1 damage. That's actually pretty nice. It makes all of your front row cards burn 1 finisher. I mean, a cancel burn 1 finisher.
If you somehow get like 2 of these off,
Yeah.
they'll be burn 1, burn 1.
Yeah. The also thing is you have to draw into this card as well. There's no way to like. I don't think there's a way to get it to hand, and even if there was, like, I feel like
Yeah, this
you don't want
this
to.
event doesn't have like the searching that like the energy drink events do in the first set.
Yeah. If anything, you get 1 of this effect off.
Yeah, this event's fine.
Yeah. I think it's a good like cost for it to get that type of effect.
Yeah.
It's better than paying 3 on an event to burn for 5. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for yellow that I can think of. I don't know if there's any other cards you guys want to mention.
I'm not 100% familiar with the set, so I can't say.
Yeah. For like yellow build at least.
Not the set, the color. the
Yeah.
color. I never really got
It's
into
still,
the
yeah.
yellow build personally.
Oh yeah, that's also the thing with CG set 2 is that like it still retains that same theme of CG set 1 where like yellow is still kind of like the lackluster color compared to red and blue. Like they tried so hard to make yellow kind of relevant, but it still gets outshined by blue and red.
It was definitely what it. I feel like it definitely helped it.
Yeah.
It was good.
I guess a good segue into red is the 3/2 Nana.
Whoa, Beanley, you did it again. You're forgetting the most important color.
Why? Wait, why?
Obviously, the 1-0 backup.
Boy.
Boy, it's a 4K backup. Come on, what else could
Boy.
you want?
Why? Why do you do this?
Because we cannot forget about the most important girl. I'm kidding. This card is actually just random. It's I'm just messing around. I don't know why you even bring this card up.
But that Nana
card,
card's annoying. Actually, I like when I played against it, like Jonathan. Oh my, because he had like this Nana / Usagi deck, and it's actually kind of
Oh, that deck's so
like
fun.
when you if you can somehow early drop this level 3 at like level 1, it's actually kind of like you obviously you have to set up.
Funniest.
It takes like 2 turns to set up, I think, to get it to level 3 at level 1, but it's still kind of annoying if it does work.
If it goes
Oh,
up,
Nana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want this SP so bad.
I like it a lot. It's funny. You got like enough boobs on it. You got cute little bunny ears. Enough, it's all cute.
As we'll get on to red then. One of the first double R's in the cover card of the booster set is a Smiling Uzaki, 3/2. When it's placed from hand to stage, you heal 1. When it's placed from hand to stage, it also gets ability minus X power, where X is equal to the number of your characters times 500. So if she's a lost card, she'll be neg 2500, so 7500 power. And then the reason why you do this is she has an ability where you pay 2 and then place one of your music characters from hand to waiting room. And this ability activates up to once each turn. When this card becomes reversed in battle, if Smiling, which is a gate, is in your climax zone, if all your characters are music, which is pretty easy to do, you may pay cost. If you did stand this card during this turn, it gets 3k power. So it's pretty much one of the easier like reversers. Not reversers, pretty much restanders.
I definitely think it's great.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little too stock hungry, just a little bit, but it's definitely good.
Yeah. And also it's like it doesn't really suffer from like anti-damage counter because by then like you don't have to pay you pay the cost like when it becomes reversed. So by that time like you'll decide whether or not like if you wanted to use this cost to like restand. So because the timing, yeah.
Decent.
Well, she definitely loses to the anti-damage like super hard.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, your opponent. Yeah, you obviously don't get the restand ability. Like you don't get the restand benefit, but like the fact where you pay the cost after she becomes reversed. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So The way it's timed.
A lot of ways to play around this too, though. Like, I guess leaving uh, small characters where she can't reverse herself in front of.
Oh yeah. Or just like having an empty room.
Just empty ball. Literally just becomes a heal.
Yeah. The heal.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like one of the more interesting Reach standards. It's pretty flavorful too.
Yeah.
For her character.
And it also being tied to gate is pretty nice because like for JP, like not much people run anti-salvage anyways, so
yeah,
it's not that bad. It's definitely like a good red card. Like one of the cards I feel like for strictly like the mono red deck or whatever, or like more focused red decks, it's one of the cards that like helped it.
It definitely made it so if you want to splash red and blue, you don't have to rely on Miku, and you can just have this.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you want to rely on Miku?
Because you're probably going to mill 2 blue cards like me off your second or third one.
So
you gotta believe.
This is a double R Cherry. She's a level 1.
How did she get a double R and Miku didn't get a double R?
It's a double R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1/0 3K power. She's a level 1 bomb, and also she has ability where you can rest one of your other music characters. Rest one of your other music characters. And when her climax is placed in the climax slot, if this is in the front row, you may pay costs. You activate up to 1 time each turn, and when this card becomes reversed in battle, you get to rest it. So pretty much you get to use the effect again, the restanding ability. Not restanding, the level 1 bomb ability, which is whatever, I guess. I don't think it really warrants the double R slot.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely a rare. Like, they could have easily just made a better Miku card and given her double R. Or maybe I feel like that just would have been a better gift, but
I'm still trying to figure out how this is double R worthy.
It's tied to a gate, but then it's like, why would you run this combo? Yeah, it's like, why would you run this combo? Because like,
yeah, dude, that Momoka is double R worthy.
This effect isn't like a trade off, like playing as a climax combo for your deck. It's like very whatever.
Yeah, no. There's already too many good other options to like even decide running this.
Yeah.
I probably think Andy would love this because he has a thing for Cherry. Running it in one chair.
It's pretty cute. Like if you, like I might not, I wouldn't play this over Kaneko, but if you want to, just because she's cuter, then go for it.
Oh yeah, I forgot Nana was also a double R. How come?
Yeah, but that's a worthy double R.
How come yellow gets 4? Is it 4?
What?
Yeah, yellow gets 4 double Rs, but it looks like
two.
It's 3, and then you get the double R pluses, right? Is it the Uzuki
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Uzuki's a double R plus. I forgot. Mio's a double R plus as well.
So wait, is there only 2 regular double Rs in red?
There's only 2 other double Rs in red, the Nana and this Cherry. But in yellow, yeah, you get 3 double Rs.
Yeah. Like, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter when you're already a bad color.
Yeah, I mean, what's it called? Blue gets 4 double Rs and 1 double R plus, which is obviously the TP.
Because it's blue.
Yeah, TP.
Because blue is obviously best.
Yeah.
You can't stand a chance against a girl like Ren now, obviously, and Kai. Come on.
But anyways, yeah, what you guys were talking about, like for the other rares and commons and uncommons and promos, like the Momoka. Yeah. That card
this
is
card's
the
like,
Fuego.
oh my god, this card's amazing.
Yeah.
The Momoka's amazing. I love that card to death and will never, ever take that out of a TP build.
So if you guys don't know, if you're listening to this, it's when your opponent's climax is placed into climax slot, she goes into stop. This is a 0/0 1500 power, by the way. And when she becomes reversed, if the battle opponent of this is a level 0 or lower, so she's pretty much a level 0 bomb. So she has so much value.
Well, like what I really love about her is that she can run away from one on reverse combos.
Yeah.
But when the set first dropped, well, not really when it first dropped, it was getting teased. There was a promo for the Now that came out and pretty much does the same thing, but it's forcibly. Like, you don't get a choice. Mm-hmm. And so I got hyped on that effect because I love the fact that I can run away from reverse combos and stuff like that. So I immediately bought a playset. Only to like a week later find out that Momoko was coming out. I'm like, oh great, that's so much better. I spent like $20 on 4 random rares that are like never gonna see play.
With CG set 2, this is definitely like one of the better red level zeros to splash into your deck. Like,
Yeah, this
yeah.
just like makes red splash really easily into like pretty much anything you want to splash it in.
Such a good card.
oh yeah, there's also the Miku, the 0/0 Miku that is you ditch a climax and you salvage a card from your hand.
I feel like
So,
that card's another
a
one of the
character
ones that
card,
you
yeah.
just, I ran it personally as a 2-up, and I love that card. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's a good value card.
Being able to salvage your Karen or your Now in TP was amazing.
And also like when you don't cancel, yeah. Wait, when you put this into your stock when the damage given by this is canceled, right?
It's very situational, but
Yeah, it's nice to have though. Yeah.
There's a decent Anzu beater in red as well. Compared to like like blue got those other two like 1/0 65 beaters with quote unquote downsides. I felt like this Anzu had like the least downsides to her for being like no oversized.
Yeah, I see
level
it.
1.
Definitely better than the Rondos.
Oh yeah, there's also
Then
the
there's also this,
Frederica brainstormer. You're pretty much brainstormer for the build for
But like,
Project Crown.
it's a very good brainstormer. Obviously, the only problem for it is that you have to have Project Crown in your waiting room.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty easy though.
Oh yeah, with like I see this like it's super easy.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the effect that you have like Akatsuki and instead, you can just ditch the Project Crown. It was the set. I feel like the Project Crown was such an underdog before the ban list. Now, obviously, now it's seeing some more play because people are like, oh, I guess Fumika's alright.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was such a sleeper deck. I feel like.
There's also the Star event, the 2/1. It's pretty much like a
the
better
Compass.
yeah, pretty much
That
a better
doesn't
version.
target.
Yeah, pretty much a better version of Compass. There's the condition if you have 3 or less red characters you can't play from hand, which is kind of something you have to consider. But like if you're playing like the mono red deck, then obviously it's easy to get off. So if you guys don't know, you flip over the top 3 cards and place them to a waiting room. If there's a climax, then you choose one of your characters. It gets 4K power, and it also gains ability where the character opposite this or the character facing this can't deal damage. So like Jimmy and Enrique were saying, it bypasses hexproof. If you're not specifically choosing your opponent's character, you're choosing your own character to give that defensive ability where they can't deal damage. So
I like it.
Yeah, it's a good event. Do you remember the 0/0 Miku where come to play discard climax to salvage?
we talked.
Character.
Yeah, and then like
Okay.
the cancel. Yeah, if the attack of it canceled, then it can go into stock.
It's one of those cards that if you were running it, you're kind of crazy because it's just so it could be super clutch.
Yeah, it's value. It's honestly, it's not a bad card to have. Yeah.
And then there's that Global 500 KBYD Yuki. I think that's Yuki, right? Yeah, that's the Global 500 KBYD. I think this is Yuki. I'm not sure, but
yeah. That is the one with the hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait, no.
This is a good global. Just because like.
Wait, no. That's say.
Oh, that's Sai. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the 2K.
I'm bad.
Yeah,
it's KBYD Sai. But yeah, this global assist is really good, especially in combination with like Me, just because you give something plus 1500 power, and like I said, she combos really well with the Natsuki. It's like a Metamorphosis Sangan wombo combo.
No.
There we go. We got the good stuff in. Okay,
we'll stop there.
Is there any other red cards?
Look at Jimmy bringing up the goods. Was there one that I was thinking about? I can't even remember. I lost track after that card. Crap. I don't think so. From what I can think. Let me look at this card real quick. I don't think it's gonna do anything.
Probably get onto again like the hype again. The hype color.
Yeah, the hype color.
There's no hype in color. This is just the best.
3/2 legs, double R plus.
God, things I do to get in between those legs.
It has one of the best early play conditions where if you have two or less climaxes in your waiting room, she gets -1 level in your hand. Obviously, this effect is pretty easy because like you mill a lot with CG, especially with the new combo, the TP combo, because you have a brainstormer that digs 5 cards instead of 4 cards, and you also have the Renakatsuki. Uh,
For your spot.
she's in the center slot in your front row for each of your other characters. She gets 500 power, and during this card's battle, your opponent cannot play events and assist from their hand. And also, she has the on play heal ability. So it's probably one of the best early drops in Weiss. I feel like.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just too good.
It has like when you read this card alone, it's like whatever. But when you think about the context of like how there's so many cards that like work off of this card,
Support it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because essentially she's gonna be like what 14-5 in the middle front row center slot.
Yeah, on a full field.
Yeah, like pretty much a lot of things can't get over that unless like they run a level 2 bomb or level 2 that reverses level 3s. The anti-change killers. That's also something to consider, but if you can play like multiple copies of this, and obviously you get so much value, but it's obviously one of the like best cards in CG. I feel like in general, but
I think it's amazing.
it helps
it's
like
amazing.
level
Like,
2.
even on the sides,
Yeah,
she's still 11-5, which is still good.
yeah. It's
Like all you do, like if you're afraid of anti-change, then you just side with, like say you get 2 out, 1 in the middle, and 1 on the side. Like you just side with the one on the side, and then the one in the middle they can't anti-change because they obviously can't play backups or events. So you get one free like frontal attack where you don't have to worry about getting anti-changed.
And also like I think it solved the issue from like CG set 1 where like there wasn't really a level 2 game, right? For just CG set 1.
Yeah, it's pretty much like just
yeah,
on to and now essentially.
Yeah. So this
On
is
to now,
obviously
yeah.
like the better, or like your level 2 game if you run this card. It's also one of the more expensive cards in CG.
It is probably the most expensive dollar.
Yeah, or SP.
You can even play outside with like TP.
Yeah,
It's just like
also this card is so splashable. Yeah. Even technically, you can
she's not
splash
too
this
good on the
with
sides though when you're not playing her in TP, but in the middle when you're playing her outside of TP, she's still good.
Yeah, in general, she's one of the better early drops. That's why she's so splashable.
I think this was this the first card they revealed?
Yeah.
For the set?
Yeah. That.
Yes.
Yeah, for a stream. I think she was a stream card.
I
Right?
was at work. I got tagged in the stream, and I was flipping out at work. I was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah, usually the stream cards are like the hype cards of the set, or like the reason why like you want to be interested in the set.
It's like practically she was like, "Hey, come watch this."
Pretty much.
And they're like, "How are we gonna?" And then like the community like, "What are you gonna do that could possibly make the set good?" And then Bushi's like, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. Like Yami was spoiled when on stream when she was first revealed.
And we were all like, "What?"
Yeah. It's a really good card. It deserves its price, to be honest. I feel like it's one of the cards where I feel like it deserves the price.
100% agreed. Card's too good.
Next, we're going to eyebrows. It's now.
Yes, the time is now.
The time is now.
Hey, she got those traditional bangs.
Yeah, the Hime bangs. She has the ability.
I like that. Have that traditional look to her.
She has the ability where like on either player's turn, in the center slot front row, if a character is a Rin now or Karen, then they get 1k power, and then she has the brainstorm ability where you pay 1 West 2 of your characters. You flip over the top 5 cards, and if there's a Transing Pulse or Triad Primus from among those cards, you search up for 1 music card and add it to your hand. Obviously, you value more. If you get like multiple multiple climaxes, then you get plus. And obviously the condition where these 2 specific climaxes, it doesn't really matter because you're playing this deck. You want to play those climaxes anyways.
Yeah, you like to play those climaxes regardless. Yeah.
I like this is the only brainstormer that does 5 too. Still, And
In
that,
Weiss, yeah.
especially
So.
like if you if you compare, like, have you always been in those situations where like you flip over like 4 cards for your brainstorm and it's nothing, and then the next card ends up being the climax?
You don't even understand how many times this has happened to me,
Uh,
and
like
why I love now so much.
a lot of people when they first saw TP, like obviously like the 3/2 like Rins or whatever. Obviously, like those are one of the reasons why you want to play TP, like the early play or like the restander. But I feel like, personally for me, I want to play TP because of this effect, because I just like the extra card brainstorming. It's like pretty nice.
Yeah, no, that one card definitely makes a bigger difference than you would think it would.
Yeah, and then the 1K power is nice because it's stagnant. Like it works on either player's turn, like for the front row.
Yeah, your
center.
level 1 game actually gets pretty big in the middle.
Yeah, it makes.
So it's like your level 2 and 3.
Yeah, even your level 0 game gets considerably.
Yeah, dude. Just
noticeable.
have like all the Rin at 3K in the middle, like not bad.
Yeah. But obviously, if you're playing TP, this is the card that you want to play in your back row. Next is the go to jail card. X.
But
It's X. AKB member. Because you're saying he was like ex AKB person, right?
Yes.
But anyways, she's a 0/0/1500 power. On play, you reveal the top card. If it's a music character, add it to your hand and ditch a card. And also, she has another ability where when on play, you can ditch a music card from your hand into waiting room to draw a card. So you could. I like these type of effects because you can use them like in whatever order you feel like. So.
I usually do the ditch draw first, just so like.
Yeah, so you know what your trigger is.
Just so my opponent doesn't like. I don't know. I feel like if I don't reveal a music character,
yeah, if it's a climax,
draw,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
I mean, you always don't have to draw. You don't have to draw, but yeah, I agree. You get the most benefit though when you ditch draw. But yeah, I like this effect so much. It has so much utility.
And yeah, it's a double discard outlet on one card, and it technically takes 2 cards off your deck as well.
Yeah, that SP is pretty nice as well. Oh yeah, this is also splashable in other builds too. Like you're not tied to obviously Project Corona. You can. This was seen in like TP, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they would like tech it.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't like go all out with 4, but yeah, you'd see a couple copies.
Yeah, like it's a good card to have. Like your slot doesn't feel wasted if you put this card into your deck. And then yeah, with the draw, the ditch draw, it's any card. It could be a climax or like an event or whatever. Because I know like in TP, like some builds they ran the 1/1 search event, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, not every build, but like some builds did, which is. Anyways, we'll get on to the 0/0 Kaede runner. Pretty much the bar. If you have 2 or less stock, if you have 2 or less stock, she gets 1500 power, and then at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, she moves into the center front row.
Of course, a great card overall.
Yeah, good card.
Obviously, you ran like 3 of this with 3 Momo because that was pretty much your front and center cards at level 0 for the most of the time, other than like Kotsky ran cards like Odyssey.
And then like later, like when you get to level 1, this is usually like the card you want to stock or whatever. So with your stock soul. So
yeah, you can just stock soul this if you know.
So it's not that big of a deal.
You don't want to draw it later on.
It's a good card.
It can still run without like you having 2 or less stock. Like the running is always like there as an option.
Yeah, it's definitely splashable in other builds if you feel like putting it in. Oh yeah, and also the other double R, dead girl, Karen 1/1 TP.
Look, come here, man. She is precious. Do you not understand how many good dojins she has? Dang.
I didn't know you were into necro.
Okay, let's calm down. We never got that far.
Her first ability
the real word.
is all your other TP runs get 1K power. So obviously this is important to the front row center slot, but this applies to the side lanes as well. And then if you have Transing Pulse now, all your other music characters get X power, where X is equals to their level times 500. So your ideal back row for TP. Yeah, a level assist. So your ideal back row is obviously the Now and this Karen. So it becomes a global level assist basically. And when TP Tri Primus is placed into your climax slot, if you have another music character, which is easy, choose one of your other characters and they gain the ability. If they reverse a character, you search up for one music character and you add it to your hand. So obviously, there's so many ways you can use like the 1-0 Ren beater or like the 1-0 like reverser, like the Kaneko reverser, to get like that
Yep.
guaranteed plus. And it's a good level assist, one of the better level assists in the game. I feel like.
Yeah, the thing with her like reverse combo is it's not tied down to a specific lane, like how 1-0s are. Like you have to reverse the character that's facing them. This one you choose whatever lane that you want to reverse in to get the search.
Yeah, and then
that's really
and it's not tied to this as like you said, also like a specific character. So like at level 2, you can still play the combo and give it to you like your 3-2 early draft Ren. That's obviously gonna be huge. So you get another like free plus, basically.
Especially if you have someone in the middle, because then they can't do anything about it because they can't use events or backups.
Yeah. So overall, it's a really good card. This card's good.
And she also doesn't need she can just be in the you don't need the Now Brainstorm to have that searching combo.
Yeah,
to go.
Yeah.
Which is also good.
Yeah.
It's just the Now it has to be there for her to be a global level assist.
Yeah. Well, this does open up to the rares, commons, and uncommons and promos, but there's a lot of good cards, like CG set 1. I guess we'll go into it. Like Ranko is there just for like the Ranko build.
Yeah, this is there for the Ranko waifu build with putting characters from the waiting room to stage.
This Kume though, it's fucking lit. This card is lit.
Amazing, of course.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, she's kind of a Katsuki / Azusa, but she has her on play abilities. You don't have to immediately ditch a card to get the free mill 4, and her effect is you don't actually grab a character, you grab a climax instead, and then if you do grab a climax, and then you ditch a card. So regardless, she's a free mill 4. But obviously, getting a climax when you need it is always nice, and she's pretty much splashable in any CG build. And obviously, she's in the pick 1 out of 4 because this effect is just really good. But there's definitely some builds that would really benefit. Even other sets in general would benefit this type of effect, and this is the only set that has this type of effect. So that's how strong this ability is.
I don't think they're gonna reprint effect again.
Honestly, I'm super scared of the fact that if we get this in English, we might get a version E just because of how good Kume is.
No, man, this is not even CG at full strength isn't even as oppressive as Kantai with no restrictions. It's just it's just degenerate, but it's not oppressive.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh god, if they did get a version E, I don't know how they would even change this effect.
There's a lot of work to be done if they're trying to nerf it.
Yeah. This is also the case topper, though.
Yeah.
So
the next card I want to talk about, probably the best finisher in this game, other than Yami before the ban list, because obviously Mariko was at 1 and Akagi was banned.
This is probably being friends in the game.
EOS.
Yeah, the power Smallerin. So if you guys don't know, when she's placed on hand the stage, you drop the 2 cards, you ditch 2 cards, and then you get a free blind stock. So she's essentially a 3-1. Yeah, from the top of your deck. So she's essentially a 3-1. When a climax is placed into a climax slot, when any climax is placed into the climax slot, she gets 1500 power. And then when she has a final ability, this ability activates up to once time each turn. So for each copy, basically, of this card, this will get one of its effect. If TP is placed into your climax slot, which is also a stock soul, the same one that was with the 1/1 Karen, she gets the ability where you can pay 3, place 1 card from hand into waiting room, and then this ability activates up to once time each turn. When another of your character attacks, if you have 3 or more other blue characters, you may pay the cost if you did stand this card. So it's a really easy restand ability. And the way it's worded, it does, you pretty much can like set it up so like you get in like what 6 like all of them. You can like triple
You
field.
can get all 6. You can get all 6.
Getting 3 off is actually not that difficult.
I don't remember the exact number. I think Jonathan told me the exact number was 7 stop before at the beginning of your turn to get all 6 restands with playing all 3 wins.
Yeah,
There's the reason why I believe
about that. I
think that's the reason I believe that personally. This POS Ren was the best finisher in the game, even better than Yami, just because of the fact of how extremely costless it was.
Yeah.
And it didn't even have to reverse.
I mean, it does. It still gets like it gets dead against anti damage counters though, or like press counters.
Yes and no. I mean, the fact you can still restand and attack and at least get the stock to at least keep your entire 5 other attacks going, which is perfectly fine. If they do it at the very beginning, they're gonna hit like -2 attacks, but you're still attacking 4 times.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. It kind of gets around it, but at the same time, it doesn't. Like it does hurt you a little bit.
The fact that it's tied to a stock soul as well, so Prehinger is playing one like the first copy is pretty much free with the stock soul.
Yeah, it's insane. This finisher was insane just for like a rare too. Oh my god, I love playing this card. This card was amazing.
And the fact that draw 2 ditch 2, like she digs for her climax if you haven't grabbed it yet, so that's always nice. And you also get closer to your refresh.
If you didn't already get it from the Miku or the Kume.
Yeah,
I guess. But yeah, this finisher was absurd. Definitely deserved to be on the ban list. More so than the Akatsuki Rin. But I'm just kind of glad they made my wife super OP at first. Kind of sucks now, though.
There is the 1-0 now that's rare. That's a lot of builds splash into their decks where she's a 6500 beater 1-0, and her only downside is if the level of character facing this card is higher than this card's level, then they can't front attack. But that's not really a downside, especially at that level, at level 1. Obviously, like at level 3, you have no cards. If this is like your only card in your hand, your opponent has like field level 3s, and this becomes like a dead card basically. But it's still nice.
The way I play this card is that I usually would get at least 1 into level.
Yeah.
Just so for the fact that I won't dead draw it later on. And then like usually around level 2, I actually start stock souling her.
Yeah.
With the blue stock souls, just so for the fact that she doesn't become a dead draw late game. And I feel like that's why this effect's not that bad in TP compared to like other sets that have this effect that don't combo with like a stock soul with the color that the 1-0 is attached to.
Yeah.
Just because like in TP you can prevent yourself from like dead drawing this in multiple ways.
There is the 3-2 might come slot though. Monami. Yeah, the assist. Some builds splash this. If you guys don't know, it's a 3/2/2K, so it dies the Wing Slayer, or Guardian.
Nobody needs to know that.
It has an ability to support all your other music characters in the front, gain 2K power, and the ability where your opponent cannot play assist from hand. When this card is placed on stage from hand, look it up to top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card, add it, and then place the rest into Reading Room. And then this ability activates up to 3 times each turn. When another character is placed from stage from Waiting Room, choose one of your characters and it gets another soul. So obviously this works with the 3-2 Anya combo from the first set. Like if you want to run that build or whatever, or like I guess if you want to like use Ranko, like the 1-0 Ranko engine, I guess. I don't know. But mostly, I feel like you play for the assist ability though, and digging, and like I guess.
Yeah, pretty much all the effects on this card are just like good in general.
Yeah, I guess the only issue is like how many like copies
would have been nice as well, but
yeah,
you take your wins and you take your losses like Kex says.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Fumika. The Fuego.
The Fuego.
So if you guys don't know, she's on play heal.
This card.
Yeah.
Correct, Snuggles. My turn to go in.
3/2, 10K on play heal, and then when Product Crone, which is a book, is placed into your climax slot. If this is in the front row, choose up to X cards from your opponent's Reading Room, return them to deck. Your opponent shuffles the deck afterwards. X is equals to the number of your characters with Crone in its name. So pretty much, it's gonna be if you have 3 of these on the field, it's gonna be return 15. And you don't have to return 15. Like you can choose up to. So if your opponent does have some climaxes in Reigning Room, then like well obviously you just want to pick out the cards that aren't climaxes and put them back into their deck.
Yeah.
This card is deadly when especially if your opponent doesn't know what this card does and like they haven't refreshed yet and they have like only a couple cards left in their deck. That's pretty much GG at that point. Obviously, if your opponent is smart enough, then they can try to work around this effect. But still, everyone in general should be like aware of this effect though, because this is definitely a like scary effect to consider.
And
Yeah, no,
if your-
definitely like putting up to 5 confirmed damage is definitely scary.
If your opponent sets you up 15 damage confirmed, can be literally just the scariest set. Like if you see yourself like if he confirms 15 damage, you just scoop it up. There's literally no point in even continuing.
Yeah, and then also with contacts with like the 2/1 yellow assist, giving that extra soul, and makes this card even more deadlier.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
People like may play this card down, but I mean it heals too. So I mean like that's 3 heals. You should be getting off because you're gonna play 3 of these hopefully, and then
it's also a case stopper as well. The other case stopper for blue.
Very cute card, by the way.
I guess another notable blue card is the what's her face, the Crone producer.
Mishido.
Yeah, Mishido.
Chrome
Yeah.
Producer.
Yeah.
Mishido.
This card is pretty
much-
she's a continuous Ricky. Every turn you can obviously pay 1 clock 1 search for any Project Chrome. So you can search for your level 2
yeah, or
Yuis
level 3. Yeah.
and your level 3 Fumis, which makes her absurdly good. At the beginning of your turn, you can give. Is it Project Chrome?
I believe your opponent's draw phase. Yeah, you choose one of your Crone music characters, and they get 1K power. So
yeah, it's very good overall. The fact that you can keep searching out your girls to at least get a constant board, because you'll be taking a lot of damage off this card. But if you can confirm Fumi, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Like there's no point. Like you might have. I mean, I've had times where I forcibly like refresh, clock myself to level 3, just so I can get the Fumi play early, because my opponent would probably refresh the next turn if I didn't like play the Fumis early.
I guess there's also the other 1/0 Ren card that TP runs. If you have 3 more other music characters, she gets 1K power, and when it becomes reverse, you bottom deck this card. So she's pretty much a free 1/0 6,500.
Yeah. It's not bad. I played it. It's alright. I didn't like the fact that she does bottom deck herself, but I guess it kind of you have to take your 1/0 loss with obviously the fact
it's
of
the
her being
trade-off.
a free 1/0 beater.
Yeah. There's also the 2/1.
Yeah, I still prefer the now over this.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just play like I know most builds do like a 2-2 split of like the now and this Rin. I just do 4 now, just because like I don't really like bottom decking this.
Yeah, I can understand that.
There's also
another one.
the
is,
2/1 now.
The 0/0 Anya.
Oh yeah.
Project Clone Anya.
Ew, why Enrique?
What?
Why you do this to me? Wait, okay. The 0/0 Anya.
The 0/0 Anya is pretty good. If you have 2 or less stocks, you get 1500 power, which becomes a beat stick at level 0. And during your opponent's turn, you can win another one of your other music characters as its front attack.
Oh yeah, the sack counter. Yes, yes, she's a field sack. Yeah.
So personally, it's not bad. I played it at 4 when I was running the pure Project Chrome build that I really liked. It was always good to open.
Yeah, no, this is a good card to beat her, and then has like the other utility attached to it.
Yeah, it's very good.
There's also the 0/0 Arena, that some JP builds right.
Yeah, that was the one I was talking about earlier. But for your
Shimakaze Kai.
Yeah, your level 0 Shimakaze Kai.
I mean, it's a good option.
I tech this in my TP build for like the extra power benefit.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's just a good level 0. Just to have it in general, and then the fact that she's like pretty much Shimakaze Kai.
Yeah.
Can help you. It can help your Karen.
Yeah, it just gives you more options of like how you want to reverse things with your like 1/1 Karen stock soul combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next card is the what's her name? I always forget her name. She's the only one. The Anya's twin. The other Project Chrome girl. I like playing her a lot too. because at the beginning of all players' attack phase, if Project Chrono is in your waiting room, she gets 4,500. So she's a base like
65. Yeah, she's always
65.
and she has hand on core.
And she has hand on court. So I mean, it's an easy card to keep alive either way. The one thing I noticed about my Project Chrome compared to like other people, because I see other people trying to run like the Mimi level 1 combo and all that. Mine was just solely based on literally running all the Project Chrome drills. I ran 4 of this and 4 Kanades, which sounds a little steep, but I always had a board no matter what. And I didn't really care about anything else other than getting triple Fumi in hand in a climax and making sure my opponent was at the right time. It always worked for me. I mean, that deck went really, really good. It went like, what was it, 20-0 for me? For no reason. I don't even know. I don't understand how I got that good, but it worked. What's the other card? The other card is the Kanade, right? Yes. The 1/0 blue Kanade that just gains on attack 2k? Or is it 1,500? No, 2k power.
Yeah, 2K power.
She becomes a 7k beat stick on attacks. Always pretty good. Good girl, good armpit, good cleavage.
Blue hair.
Blue hair, got a little.
Jeez.
I mean, no, generally, I think the fact that I played it the way I did was just to make sure I always had a board and just make sure I kept up the damage. That was really about it.
If only
The
she
fact that
had.
they also get pretty beefy. So you can always like at least kind of clear the board most of the time. So you won't always be like, oh, I'm just gonna cycle my characters and just do some damage and then probably take like die next turn.
If only she had the Hotel Moonside combo, like if she got a combo with her.
Oh my god, it'd be like just it should have the flavor of like it should burn for like burn for 2 and then have the ability to burn for a third attack or third damage and just miss the third one always. Because the biggest flavor is that her song has like this. It starts with like the 1-2 kiss kiss.
Yeah.
But everybody in the game always misses the kiss kiss parts because the notes are sliced are inwards. So your fingers can't even do that at the game. It's like stupid. You have to have like a weird position, and the position is always annoying to set up because
I have 2 extra thumbs.
Pretty much because the notes are like on the very edge of the screen, and then they force you to come into the middle and do the slides. You're like, oh god, I can't hit this. I always either get one of them and then it just missed the very last slide. I'm like, that's depressing. But what is the other card that was a 2-1 now? Is it a 2-1 now that combos with the other climax?
Yeah.
I think secondary option. I mean, it kind of replaces the 2-2 now that you used to play. I mean, I liked it. It was pretty fun.
When I played this card, like I actually never really got her off. It was just like there as an option.
Yeah, it's just nice to have.
Because of the fact that both
there as a soul trigger.
And she bottom decks that card.
The fact that both climax combos are off the same climax and then you just have a dead climax was like, all right, well, I don't really care about this. I'm only playing this for the now. But I mean, the option to have the 2-1 now can be pretty cool. And if your opponent's early dropping a lot of other characters, or they can just bottom stock it or not bottom stock it?
Yeah, bottom decks.
Yeah, bottom decks. And you get to draw a card too.
Draw.
Yeah.
Funny story though. The one time I did use this, it was mostly because the player I was playing against didn't know about this card at all. So I was playing against Girlfriend Beta, and he gave the power off the early play to like another character. He didn't give it to the early play itself. So like I just like put this in front of the early play and like just had massive amounts of power and just bottom decked it afterwards.
Feels bad.
But that was mostly because he didn't know like this card existed because it was right when like CG2 dropped.
Yeah, it's just an option, and I wouldn't like obviously it's a card you should run just because of the fact that if the option is there, that can be pretty clutch.
And now worse, it's a soul trigger.
Yeah, it's a soul trigger. Just like I wanted to bring up earlier, that Karen's also a soul trigger herself, which is pretty good. Another card that I wanted to bring up was a 2-2 Rin. That seems kind of steep, but I saw myself playing this card more than I even saw myself playing the 2-1 now. Because at the beginning of all players' attack phase, if Transient Pulse is in your waiting room, which is already easy enough, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a music character, during this turn, this card gets 4,500 power. So it's just a 2-2 wall with 2 soul. I saw myself playing it a lot.
And also, you know your first trigger as well. That can come in handy.
That too. That's amazing. I like the fact that I know my first trigger, so I know if like so I still ran the 0-0 Rin from the TD, so I know my trigger at least if I wanted to take that one for an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. It's free too, so that can actually just who knows maybe even stay through your opponent's turn. Maybe your opponent can't even deal with it.
Yeah, if she's in the middle too, she'll still get the buff from a now.
Yeah. Yep.
And gain level assist as well. So yeah, no, this card's actually not that bad.
It's one of those cards that people like look at and like, oh, it's a 2/2. Why would I do that when I early drop Prince? But honestly, the option to have that,
2/2s.
Oh man, it's a good option. I'm surprised you didn't know about this card that well, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I've never actually played this card.
I actually love this card so much. It was fun. I played Transient Pulse in my Project Chrome build just so I can also still play this option. And it was hilarious. It was funny.
There's also the
How about this one? The one that gets +1 level and 1500 power if she has a marker on her under her, and then when she comes into play, reveal top card of your deck. If it's a music character, then you put it under her as a marker. If not, it just stays there. I've seen some TP builds run this over the Kaide. And I can understand why, because it is hits the same power as the Kaide, and it is level 1 on board if she does have the marker, so they can't like use a level 0 reverser against it. And it is technically compression as well, since you are putting a marker under her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this level 0 is pretty solid if you want it to like be one of your like level 0 beaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
most respectable level 1 climax combo in the game. The 1/1 Koi Kaizi win.
Boy.
It was pay 2 place 1. Is that the kite from the level 3 kite?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
You pay 2 and you place 1.
From your hand into the waiting room.
Yeah.
Or no, if you place the climax from your hand into the waiting room, and then you choose one of your kites from hand and place it into the card into the spot this was previously on. So you practically pay 3.
4.
Yeah.
Technically.
Or pay 3, yeah.
But you get the Pun Master kite out of level 1. And if it's a center middle, your opponent's never gonna run over that. Come on, it's gonna kill that thing.
Yeah, unless they're like what they run rabbits.
It's an average combo that you know what maybe this isn't that great, but if you really like Kide, shout out to my nigga John, B Master. He loves Kide, and you know honestly, it's a pretty fun combo. I played it and it was fun. Nothing really more to it than that. What card was I talking? We're gonna talk about next. Is this one? Shoot. So I'm did you already talk about the mini-me that's a 0/0 that gets marker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just talked about that.
I actually thought about that card for a bit because of the fact that there is a 2/1 Anya, right? That says if that card is in your clock, this card gets -1 level, so it's practically a 1/1 AK as long as you have the mini-me in your clock. So again, me would be being as bad as I am, I like to play 2/1s that are early drops. And this is one of the one that kind of replaced the arena for me if he gets at 2. It'll definitely replace it because of the fact that it's easier to drop. It's easier to drop, and you can do it in TP if you want.
I mean, I guess, but at level 1 you already have.
Yeah, isn't like bad at all.
Yeah.
Like to play her.
It's pretty good card. I could play it. I could see myself playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at level 1 though, you already have like other beaters, 1/0 beaters that you'd rather play anyways, though. They're already gonna get power.
The fact that the option to have an AK beater, the 1/1. I mean, it is a 1/1, but you know what? The fact of how easy it is to drop, and it's an AK, can even make your Karen even easier, hopefully. And if you're still running the arena, this card's gonna almost 100% confirm run over anything. Which is another one of those things that I realize most people don't do. When you look at deck lists, they're all running the basic generics. They're splashing around those level 0s, or they're running in some like the average level 1 games with the Rins, the Nows, and the Kanakas. But I saw this as an option that I liked because it's pretty easy. I mean, sure, you have to pay 2 stock total because of Karen and then this, but I mean, come on. You're going to plus off TP Rin, you're going to have this as the B stick, and you have an easy
stock solos to make up for the stock you're paying.
Yeah, kind of. But the fact that this deck is already overpowered as much.
Yeah, this deck's already
I saw this as a better option at the beginning of the set. Now that after the ban list, I feel like it's a little more tougher to decide this card. But I probably will still test this. If this comes to English, I'd definitely start with this because it's an easy card to drop.
But for English, you get all the cards you need though. Like assuming there's no like version E or whatever. Yeah,
I mean, if you don't, I'm playing this 100% because I personally have like a major hard on for 2-1s. I don't know why.
See, you're like me with tutus, man.
I like 2-1s at early drop. That's my like. I
like tutus with hand on court and tutul.
It worked too, dude. I mean, 2-2 Hanekawa, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna say
I
like
thought
the
it-
search
it-
event.
it-
The search event's like some builds run it, some builds don't run it. But it's like
I feel like if you weren't running the right version, though, that card was just so absurd.
I played this after the second ban list.
Mhm.
Instead of like, because I know most builds like went all out with like 4 Karens, and I literally feel so bad when I like draw like another Karen after I have Karen out. Like, yeah, you like get multiple searches off, but do you really need them?
yeah, I feel like 3
No,
is good enough.
I ran 4 just because of the soul trigger. I love soul trigger, and I like doing as much. I like trying to put more damage on board earlier in the game. So
Yeah, I always felt like I don't know, like just felt so cloggy when I had 4 Karens in my deck. So like I put the Karen to 3, and I think I ended up teching this event at 1.
I feel like now 3 is the option.
This event's not bad at 1 though, or even 2 if you really want to play it at 2. But
Yeah.
I played it at 1, and like sometimes like when you're really compressed, you're like, oh well, I probably shouldn't brainstorm.
Mhm.
You know, you just use this event instead to get out what you need, and you're technically taking out 2 damage from your deck as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this event's not bad in my opinion. It's like fine as like a 1 of or even 2. I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't play more than 2 though.
I like it a lot. I
is,
don't know if I played it myself, but
Yeah.
I do like the card.
is there any other cards? I think that's pretty much it though for blue.
Any other cards? I'm trying to look over some of these that I can't remember.
Those other ones are just like kind of.
I forgot to
sheer
tell you
decks.
about this one. You would love this one.
Come on,
You would
Nebula
love
Sky.
this one. No. This is a 2/2 2-soul Ronco that early drops if you have 4 or more blue characters.
Oh yeah.
Whoa! This is all.
The Ronco.
What? Yeah, this is my card right here, boys.
8
Yo.
plus 2 soul 2/2 early drop. Bro,
Um,
this is good. This is like, I mean, obviously, I'd rather go with the other one just because it's a 2-1 in combos with a 0/0. But this is also pretty good.
Yeah, this is definitely this is my type of card right here.
There's a lot of cards that people don't even look at. And like when people like Patch Cats and all them were going over like their TP builds and all that, I'm like, yeah, he brought up the easy like the common like 0/0s, but he's like, are you like retarded? Like there's so many other really, really good cards that are like up 2s that early drop. Like are you looking at the set even entirely? Like I know you're like such a fanboy of the set, but you're like not even bringing up all the cards that could actually just do damage. Oh man.
Yeah, when it comes to deck building, like CG is like one of the more fun builds.
There's
Like,
so-
There's
yeah, so
definitely
many
a lot.
cards.
Like
Yeah.
there's no like one cookie cutter build that you can do with.
Yeah, it's not like
develop
TLR or Contai. Well, Contai has like 2 optional ones, but if you're running the yellow one, you're bad. There's just so much variety, and I absolutely love CG just because of this. And this is why this is still my favorite set to this day. It just there's so many good cards. It's not even funny, and I feel like there's so many good cards that get overshadowed. That
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Like no one
these two
would be looking at these commons at all because there's so much other
There's-
things in the
there's
set.
cards.
But even the commons are pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, like that card. Obviously, there was another one that I forgot. What's her name? I forget her name. Oh crap! There's another. There's a 1/1. Of course, Jimmy would probably love this, but it's I always forget her name. But it's a
Tell me about the one that's like
1/1/16. If all of your characters are blue, this card gets 1500 power and gains encore. Place one character from your hand away from. So it's a 7/5/1/1 that could again help out your Karen to make sure you get your TP Ren. That again, a lot of people skip over.
I've seen some JP builds actually play this 1/1.
I haven't. Well, I mean, maybe there is, but I haven't seen any. So there's just a lot of good cards in this set that are honestly super good that people are just skipping over, and I am surprised still as to why.
Yeah. Well, I guess this is a good like wrap up for like CG set 2. I forgot to mention that like CG set 2 had a lot of foils too. Like for example, like the Project Crone climax. There's like 3 different versions of it, like for the foils, or like the Transing Pulse, right? Transing Pulse.
Yeah, Transing Pulse.
Just do
I was
three
really
different
depressed
versions.
because I actually went to go build TP like the other day, like a couple weeks ago, and I can't even find any of my Project Chrome cards. I'm like, oh, where
Boy.
are they? I know I didn't sell those, so
Yeah.
I don't know where they are. And I'm like kind of like a little bit sad right now because I can't find them.
And then also they did a nice box topper, right, where like you get the reprints of climaxes from the first set. Like most of the relevant climaxes from the first set, they got nice
Oh,
alternate
dude, the
artwork.
Asterisk one looks.
Yeah, they got really nice alter art.
The Asterisk one definitely looks the best, and then the Ronco one definitely looks really good too.
I was kind of mad
man.
though.
Have
They
you
should have
seen,
reprinted everyone's leader as like the climax, not fucking memories. I mean, I like memories as a song, but like no one played that
agree.
climax
Oh,
combo.
have you seen Let's Go Happy? Like, it's pretty fucking cute.
I feel like if Let's Go Happy was from the backside, I definitely agree with you.
The Ronco climax though is like really pretty.
The Ronco climax looks good. Both that and the Asterisk definitely are the best. They look super cute. The Triple R Rin TP climax is insanely gorgeous. It's just impossible to find as well.
Oh yeah, and also the three of them.
And that foil nebulous guy definitely just melts your heart into pieces.
Oh
Just
god,
like that.
I just wanted just to have him in my binder sitting. Like
That's what it is. That's what's doing in my binder, dude. My friend gave it to me. He's like, "Don't you like Anya?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. We keep this forever now. Thanks."
I guess CG2 like helped fix like a lot of fix the issues that were in CG1. Or, like especially finishers, like this set actually gave finishers to like all the colors.
Like real finishers, yeah.
Yeah. And also still gave like good
helped
utility
out with,
cards.
like the subsidiary decks, like the
Yeah.
other decks that weren't the metal ones.
And it definitely created a new set of decks like with TP and Crone.
Chrome was definitely on the underdog, but now seeing a lot more play right now.
Yeah, people are starting to read their cards now.
I mean, it's good. You can't always just rely on some random YouTuber to call out some random like crappy 1-0 Ronco changes to make it seem like
stop. Stop. I'm gonna get like a shit ton of dislikes now.
That's fine.
Oh man. We live and learn.
But anyways, I guess one of the questions to kind of end this off is like, if CG2 does come to English, do you feel like would it break the English format? Or I feel like it wouldn't really break it.
I played this set when it was at full power, played it after the ban list, played it after the other ban list, and I will still stick to the fact that it's not as oppressive as like I would literally play against unrestricted TP all day compared to unrestricted Contai.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost agree with you just because of Junior. That's literally the only reason I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you play Junior, they just get a head on damage so fast.
Yeah, everyone gets a soul, and like the fact that Junior is hexproof. Yeah.
If we were to have both right now, I mean, if obviously just TP came currently where the English meta is, I think TP just completely shut the format and by itself.
It'd definitely be S tier.
I think it definitely. I don't know if it would shit on the format. It would definitely like. It would definitely change it. Like it would definitely change the meta a lot. But definitely, it would struggle against Contai just because. Well, TP specifically, just like you want to early play heal, and like just stay at level 2 essentially.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that'd be
like what's TP Rin without her early play heal? You get a big body and a non-event and assist in the middle when she attacks, which is still good, but like.
Yeah, because they can't play Compass in that lane, the middle lane.
Well, I mean, if you kind of like if you actually open your eyes to the set and try and test around with more other cards like. Good cards, not like basic 1-0 Ronco changes. I feel like if you play the 2-1s or the 2-2, even if the 2-2, I know Jamie, you're gonna try that if that ever came. Those cards can easily counter out Contai and
with the anti-heal. Yeah, that's a good point.
Another point is like I'm not gonna say obviously go and try the 2-2 Ronco. That's meta call. I'm not gonna say any of these cards are all meta calls. You're up to play whatever you want to, but I feel like the biggest problem for Contai is obviously soul damage. So if they get rushed by like +2 souls and stuff, Contai can't really keep up.
Yeah.
And they just kind of lose the game. They lose the damage races, which what Contai never wants to do. Because if they lose the damage race, Akagi's just kind of become like, oh, I'm going to try and level out the game, not finish the game like it should be.
Yeah.
And that's what exactly I felt a lot during the last Spring Fest that we and Beeling went to, where Beeling won. because Beanley was debating whether playing Contai or Tularu that night before, and I was like, no, Beanley, you're playing Tularu. I'll play your Contai, so you don't have a choice. Little did I know that the next day, out of the 6 rounds that I played, I would play against 4 plus 2 soul decks. God, it was the worst.
Was anyone playing plus soul Contai deck? You know what I'm talking about?
No, it was literally the randomest plus 2 soul decks.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I managed to beat through them, and then I lost to Project Diva, and then I lost to Honk's waifu plus 2 soul sack fest. That guy was being a sack all day. God, man, I was so depressed when I wasn't surprised about losing to the plus 2 soul. I was just like mad at myself that I played against 4 plus 2 souls all day, and then I lose to probably the worst plus 2 soul deck of the day. I'm like, wow, this just happened.
Yeah, and like with Project Diva, if they get it off, it gets off. You can't really do anything against Soundless Voice.
Soundless Voice, he got it off, and it was like he literally got the dream. He got all 3 of the switch, the memory changes.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, I'm just gonna push for soul damage, which I did, and I managed to keep up. But the fact that I went from 0 to 2 and then 3 to game, I can't really do anything about that.
Yeah.
So that's really what my day was like for Springfest. Just played against plus 2 soul all days and playing Contai, which was a horrible idea. I should probably just play CG.
Didn't stick to the idols.
I know that was my fault, but I wanted to help Beanley, and now look where he is.
Going to Japan for free.
So we'll see. We'll see what I do for the next Springfest. I don't know if I'm going to New Jersey or not. I have to see if I can get that Monday off.
Yeah.
If I do, there'll be a CB vlog instead.
I'll be at New Jersey. Hopefully, do well. Still iffy about playing Sunshine, but I'm probably just gonna do it just because I like Sunshine. And no one in English format has really tried pushing the set towards the competitive scene.
If I don't play CG, I will 100% either be playing that or SAO. I'm not sure. I'm debating on building SAO right now, just because of the re-edit. It's so much fun. There's so many good cards that are coming reprinted and cheaper.
I guess we'll just get into closing thoughts or shout outs. Do you guys have any personal shout outs you want to say?
Shout outs to Andy for the 2-peat for making top 8 and then top 4.
Yes.
Yeah, very good job.
Yes.
I'll fulfill the legacy. Hopefully. Well, he's going to be at New Jersey too, so yeah.
You lose to him right before top 8.
Oh my god.
That'd be sad. I ended up playing against my friend at round 6. We were so sad because he was like, if he even stand a chance, we had to knock each other out.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
that's sad.
Yeah.
But oh well, it was fun. It was a good event. I'm pretty sure every other event. Yeah, I'm actually one thing I wanted to bring up was the fact that Bushiroad's actually been putting in a really good amount of effort into their tournaments. Maybe not their sets. They're still doing their wacky
delay shit. Yeah, or typos. Yeah.
But you know what? If you go to their events and tournaments and you play in the Weiss events, they've been extremely well run recently. And excluding Dallas, that was a joke. But
yeah, Dallas is the one exception.
Not only the fact that it was the most obnoxious amount of rounds, and the event was ran really wacky, and the fact that the winning deck was a really bad version of Tularu. I feel except for from what we had, except from that event, it's been amazing. I feel all the events have been really well run. Obviously, the fact that we don't have double losses anymore in time, amazing. I love that. I remember my friend last year went into time, and we were because this is also our first event last year, so we went in there thinking, oh, we have turns because we normally do turns, right? No, literally we find out that there was just a double loss. If you're in time, you just both lose.
GG.
Yeah, that sucked. But they changed that, so now you have turns. I like that a lot. So I feel Bushiroad was stepping up the program. I feel like they need to do a little bit better with their sets. I'm kind of happy they pushed Persona back a little bit. They should keep pushing that back.
Fuck yeah.
I'm actually upset that they moved Bang Dream up because I'm actually planning to trying to plan to go to AX, and that them pushing that set up pretty much says either I buy the set or I go to AX to see Aqua and CG.
I want to go to AX, but that's the same weekend I'm going to be out of the country, and it sucks. I want to see Idolm ster and Macross Delta so bad. Yes, they're both
two other people are planning to go for my locals.
I don't want to go.
If they're going, I would definitely go with you. I just don't want to go alone and pay for all that.
It's so expensive. It's just to fly to LA. It's expensive anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it'll be a good experience. Hopefully we get everything worked out, the tickets to go to the concert.
Don't they also have a Weiss event at AX?
See, there was this Grand Festival thing, but it only says Vanguard and Buddy Fight, but they're giving out a Weiss PR. So like, I
Well,
don't
didn't
like.
they also had a Grand Festival. Where was it? Singapore or something like that? I can't remember where it was, but there wasn't Weiss wasn't originally on it, but they just eventually just surprisingly announced that the Weiss was going to be on. Hopefully, they do the same thing for AX. It'd be cool. I'm sure they'll have events for Weiss. It maybe not be like obviously,
Especially since like SoCal is like the fucking boiling pot of Weiss.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like the scene for Weiss there is like a lot bigger than
There's
East
so
Coast where we're at.
I feel like the Florida scene has died down a little bit. Not I'm gonna say like it's dead. Obviously, it's still a lot of players in Florida. Last year, like about a year and a half ago, I feel like this was be one of the biggest Y scenes. But I feel like now it's kind of calming down. A lot of like our area is based on college students, so a lot of our players just end up like leaving and living their life.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because Orlando, where the main two car stores that play Weiss in Orlando, is literally on campus ground. So all the players are usually normally like college students, and
it's also the fact that we're all spread out too, like for like the cities.
Yeah, I feel like our scene has been dying down a little bit. Although I feel like at the same time it's still growing. I feel like people leave and people come in just because it's college and there's so many like young people coming in.
Yeah.
But here's to hopefully Bushiroad doing a good job for the rest of this year and to come for next year.
I thought
hopefully
the QR code thing. The QR code thing was pretty cool. Like, oh, it was my first regional in general, but like, I don't know if other regionals do that, but I thought the QR code was pretty nice.
Wait, what was this QR code thing?
The QR code thing has been going around for a while now.
Oh, like for like your listings.
QR code thing?
The QR code started with Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh. They started. Oh, it's pretty much you. When they give you your parents, they'll give you a QR code instead. Like you can choose a QR code and just scan it, and it'll automatically load up your round pairings.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah. Oh,
dude,
yeah.
This is all like new technology for me. We had we had rounds written out. They tape it onto like a pillar.
They give you that too, but
they
also have.
But you want instant results, yeah.
Like I know, we got it, and then we just load up the website, and then just put in our code, or they also give you the link to the website, and you can just put in literally your number, and it'll tell you exactly where you're sitting.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I don't know. Like last year they did that too, so I mean I don't know where you were.
And they've also
probably like
they've been like less strict
in a box.
Yeah, they've been more like understanding when it comes to like mats too or whatever. So like
mats was an amazing idea. I love it. It gave people it gave me a huge like motivation to try at least and attempt it. I feel like I wasn't like, oh, I'm just going there just to see if I could top and get my
pin.
Oh yeah. No, I mean like they weren't.
I got a pin, the certificate.
They weren't strict on like mats or whatever. Like you didn't have to do like rock paper scissors as well. Like they didn't care if you died or all. Whatever.
Oh, it was, I don't know, but I mean, when I saw it, people didn't care.
Yeah.
But there was this one judge that was like, "Oh, you got to do rock paper scissors." I was like, "Oh, okay." But for the most part, I think the judging staff was cool. At least for us in Jacksonville, it was really cool. Everybody was really down to earth. I mean, when we went to top 8, all the judges were just like having fun with the players and the people around us watching too. It was cool. Kind of wish I would have known that we could record because we would have recorded that final. Because being that final for you and Lewis was probably the most insane final I've ever seen. Probably one of the best finals, probably in spring history. I could probably put money down on that because that finish was insane. I almost lost myself. I was like freaking out. I was like, this finish is the most intense finish I've ever seen. Not even like local level could ever compare to this.
It's like it was Easter Day, right?
I was sweating. I was like, being there. I don't even understand. I don't understand how YouTube. Lewis, the most funniest, like joking guy on the planet I've ever met. The sackiest guy too, but he was also like the funniest guy. He wouldn't be cracking jokes left and right during game. He wouldn't even be paying attention to the game. But this in game, he like was completely the most serious person I've ever saw. I never
super stone cold.
He was extremely serious. I never seen him this serious in my entire life. It was like, oh man, it was fun to watch.
And I'm just like, oh, you're gonna sack.
Like he was a sack, but being, I don't even know what to call you. You're like a sack who coming up, Jesus.
It was Easter that day, yeah.
Also, I feel like that event was kind of, even though it was a good event, I feel like it was badly timed because the event was on Easter.
Yeah. It was the lowest turnouts, I think, forever for Weiss. We only had 63 people, right? Like, other events have, like, over 100. Yeah.
I was a little bit sad about that. I was kind of, like, scared, like, oh, maybe they'll change up and maybe not give us a Jacksonville regional again.
Oh.
But it was also the fact that it was on Easter, so it was a really, it's a little bit questionable of the timing, but it was still a really good event. If Wisher would ask me how this event was, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 because it was just super fun.
That's true. Yep. I guess for my final shout out is thank you for my mom for giving birth to me.
Oh,
Uh,
awesome.
that's about it though.
Yeah, I of course give a shout out to Binley for always putting in work on this channel, even though I never do anything for it. I'm just like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah,
I
thanks
really
for
should
Jamie for always inviting me to these podcasts.
put more work into this channel, but maybe I will soon. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll be vlogging from New Jersey. Who knows if I can get the days off.
But then again, thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for more content.